Good morning, good morning, collective. The time is now 3:53 on the dot. It is going to be 3:54 in just a few seconds. We've already played out 3:53. 53 has been a reoccurring number for the last few days. Someone look it up. It is significant to a select few of you all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday, happy thunder, happy day of communication. For those who know, you know. To those avid candle burners, all that work, what is it getting you? Hopefully, you are doing your prayers and setting your intentions collective because we have some people still attempting to mass block the masses, okay? They're trying to block on a large scale. It's because people are starting to wake up to a few of the details that we've all been discussing. All of the readers are pretty much synchronized in their very unique ways. The ones who are actually saying the duplicate things, they're the copycats, okay? In case anybody was wondering. All right, so uniqueness will be one of the telltales. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Someone's looking for a blessing, someone's asking for a blessing. I went outside not too long ago and I did see that there was a lot of clouds in the sky and the moon was blocked totally. So there's a lot of things that people don't want us to be peeking at. See, we got a real quick gander at the moon day before yesterday. It was so clear that they had to hurry up and try to hide it because it's out there. The information is out there, and once seen, it's very hard to unsee. Let's get into it, collective. Good morning, good morning, good morning to those who are having a great morning. Happy Virgo season. It is now the 27th of August. We've officially gotten through the first week and we're well into the second week of school. Hopefully, everything is going well. What I'm going to tell you now is to hold those kids tight to you, not so much as literally as is their mind, their information, things of that nature. You need to know what's going on. I was doing some cleaning in a corner that I rarely go into, I'll admit, because I keep it somewhat in order. But the thing about it is, I wasn't going into detail. So I decided to pull these things out because I had something there I wanted to use. Now, that is specific to some of us, collective. There's somebody that's been around you for a while and they know you a bit. They know what you're more likely to do and what you're most likely not to touch. And they've been using that to their advantage. So if there's a corner or a space in your house that you don't visit, you might want to visit it now. Start visiting, cleaning it out, and you'll find some surprising things, as I did. What I found when I started cleaning out is that I had a really huge thief next to me, sleeping right under the same roof as me. It was wild when I started pulling out all the different paperwork. I realized that this person is a thief on a grand scale. Turns out I never knew this person, although I was supposed to know this person best. The thing about it is, when you are co parenting and you realize that the other parent is a straight up criminal, you have to understand that that person didn't get there by their own volition. They had to be enabled by someone. Somebody did benefit from them being a criminal. So it was basically cultured into them. The thing about it is, when you're not a criminal and you lay down with somebody who is, you have to pay attention to the co parenting schemes. Unfortunately for me, I found out the hard way. Turns out my first kid was programmed never to love me, but to use me. Him and his father came up with this grand old plan that I'd be the way that he lived. His whole job, his father never had a job as long as he knew me, is because he wasn't required to. I was the job. The job was to make sure that I never got any money enough or got any pressure relieved off of me enough to become a better person. You see, Had my kids not stolen from me all these years, I would have already been a superstar in my greatness. The thing about it is, my first child's father was hired to be a thorn in my fucking side. And then he hired my son. The reason why my son used to spend so much time away from me was because they were together, programmed and trained to keep me drained. This is why that man never did anything extra for me. He'd rather take his child. And that was okay because I was able to work. I'm not a lazy person, but I didn't know that that was taken advantage of too. This is why I never put the first one on child support, is because as long as he was physically taking care of him, I felt as though that was great because everybody else was getting such the bare minimum, so I thought. I would have rather get the gifts from my baby father than have him take my son and train him to be a thief. So, when I came across the receipts realizing this child has been getting things authorized by other adults and then telling other adults that I'm a neglectful mom, it started to build in my head the more paper that I pulled out. Not only has he been doing insurance frauds and all sorts of frauds, I think he fashioned himself as somewhat like the Yahoo boys. You know, the get rich or die trying boys. The ones who get buy ailments and ointments and tinctures from different practitioners by way of instruction from the elders around them and rub it on their parts so that when they lay down with women, they can harvest their money. However, since his father had already put some type of hoodoo voodoo on me, that was all right for them. That's what they told themselves. So, for the longest time, over damn near 20 something years, I've been getting laced by my own kid and my own lovers by direction from my mom. Shout out to you, you son of a. I can't call you no mom. So, this is how I became the happiest orphan alive when I decided to get rid of these people because everybody was basically in my pockets, whether they told you or not. I was wondering how my ex brothers, because I don't have a brother now, if they tell you they're related to me, it's only because title and they benefited from saying they know me. Other than that, they haven't been there. Anyway, so when I realized that they kept trying to sue me, him and Latrice kept trying to sue me, I'm like, where in the hell am I getting this money that they keep trying to sue me for? Not, well, now I found out. There was some hidden money in a trust fund for me, and my mom had access to it. The only way is to put my name on things legally and to get me sued. I also didn't know that she hired somebody to play me in court so that I could be successfully represented against. You know, either get a regular person or hire a lawyer to represent me. But the thing about it, she had to keep me away from things so that she could keep signing things in my name. So all of them together are criminals. I was surrounded by criminals, criminals that would rush to say God and rush to say Jesus and rush to a Bible verse, all while being straight up thieves. It's crazy. And the fact of the matter that I supported this kid all the way through his Marine training, paying for all sorts of things. He calls me mom. I need a few couple of hundred. I need this, that, and the third. I was even taking care of the raggedy grandmother who was stealing from me too. She was only babysitting my youngest so that she can steal and buy stuff from what? JTV, jewelry, fake jewelry TV. Like, I don't even wear costume jewelry. Why am I paying for it? So all of these people were surrounding me to steal either things in my name, my credit, my business, everything. Turns out I never had a first son. That was just a demon that had to come by way of my womb. Poor suckers. Now, whoever they're stuck with, they've got to deal with it. I'm not letting these people come near me anymore, collective. What's going on? So, you might find out something like that. Maybe by a sister, brother. For me, it was everybody. Everybody was pretty much instructed to try to get as much as they could from me while trying to hunch me and leave me with some kind of disease. How's about that? And I told you I wasn't supposed to make it back from San Diego alive, so he really tried to take me out in San Diego. However, I just kept waking up. I'm sure he's watching, or some of his friends are watching, talking about, God damn, this bitch knows everything. I sure do. I sure do. So who's ever been signing things in my name for that little thief, you're going down too, because that's the forged signature and that was non-authorization. You guys have been signing off on a minor doing shit to me. Bad part about it is most of the people that you sent towards me to hunch me kind of wanted to stay, but they were instructed that they wouldn't get any more money or any more get out of jail free cards if they stayed. So off to the life of crime they stayed. How's about that? You did all that just to get caught anyway. See, the thing about when you start going to those practitioners and things, they don't really keep reminding you that all that shit has an expiration date. You might get away from it for a while, but you won't get away from it forever. Especially to a person who was already tapped in. You guys had to work collectively and around the clock to keep me from finding the shit out that I'm sitting here talking to you about now. So you can keep all your little corny people from coming around me, hacking my shit and all that. You've been found out. You, your father, both your grandmothers, everybody who you're related to, everybody who I pretty much have had any kind of relation to in the last few years, they've been infiltrated by you. Yeah, because they wanted to steal and they got told that nothing would ever happen to them because I would never figure it out. How's about that? Imagine you talking to somebody and they're sitting there figuring everything out. The one thing that I do love about myself and you all collective is that we usually don't talk until we know exactly what the fuck we're talking about. Isn't that grand? See, for the people who thought we were stupid, no, we weren't stupid. We just didn't want to talk without having all of the facts. Because you people love to gaslight and you people love to say, you can't tell. How'd you know? How'd you know? And for people like you can't bust a move too fast. You've got to have everything lined up because this is what you people have been doing all your life. Imagine finding out that you have been the basic investor of all these bum ass people and they still ain't did shit. They still ain't great. And for the ones who did manage to social climb, it's like shoots and ladders. The minute I find out, the minute you start shooting down the slippery, slippery slope. And that's what happens when it comes to spirituality. You can't really run from that, especially when you've been using your mouth as the weapon formed and the one that tried to prosper. Oh, yeah, you guys had a very nice run. But I'm going to need you to run all them coins back. All those years of toil and labor, all those years I was at work and you were telling people that I was off whoring just along and doing all sorts of things that I would not even think about doing. Yeah. All those years I spent at work and you guys were siphoning from whatever job that I had only because you had that thing that we identified as my firstborn. Yeah, well, I'm willing to let him all the way the fuck go since he was willing to sell me into human trafficking. Like, how was that going to work? Was I supposed to just allow you to trade my body for coins while I sat there doing what? Oh, was I supposed to end up a drug addict when you guys decided you wanted to start playing with the devil's lettuce around me? Yeah, I know the difference because you're supposed to know the difference. You guys were trying to get me all turned out on one thing or another, even alcohol. God damn, Eskermans, why didn't you just go back to the toxic bitches when you realized I wasn't one of them? I don't understand you all. Either way, that's neither here nor there, and it's above me. I turn you over to the Lord and I surrender all your criminal asses to spiritual court. Order in the court, off with their heads. Justice. And get this raggedy bitch from next door. She doesn't want to take care of the fucking dog. She's only using it to catch some of that backfire that's surely about to hit her. Either way, cheers. Don't invite me to any one of your funerals. I can't be sure not to knock over the casket. Anyway, I know you nigga love me. Get off my page. I know you tried to hex me. Go get the sage. A cleansing is in order. A cleansing is in order for us all collective. Did you know? Did you know? Good morning, good morning, good morning. You see, there were shadows on the castle walls, and you have to understand when somebody has definitely staged a an ambush, and that's certainly what happened. I could feel it in the air, and I was wondering why everybody was getting so bold because I've never played that. And we can recall, and this is why they had to play so innocent around me. See, they were only thugs around you. They were nothing like that. They were as innocent as tamed kittens around me. See, nobody was playing with me in my face. I don't know what they told you, but everybody was, I need you. I'm falling apart. This, and that. And that's how they got me, was because they used the fact that I was very nice and I had a tendency to fix people. And this is what I did say in one of those messages: be careful of fixing people. People will start to take advantage of you, and then they'll get angry because you were able to fix them. And then on top of that, they'll get resentful, and then they'll try to break you because you were able to fix them. Leave those people in the lurch. Going forward, we ain't fixing a damn thing, especially things we haven't broken. If there's no warranty, boo hoo. So let's get on with it. Let's get on with it because we're into new things. We're refreshing, we're rebranding, and I'm so glad that I went into that corner and started to pull things out. Sometimes that's the only way to unravel yourself. You have to go into the corners of your mind, the corners of your conscience, and sometimes the corner of your house and figure out what's going on there that you haven't unpacked. Sometimes you'll find spider webs, you'll find a pest that you might have to exterminate. That could be a part of some type of dark work as well. Somebody sends a spider, they're hoping that you may get bit and it gets infected and you end up in the hospital with some kind of MRSA, some kind of contact, something that makes you have to go through some pretty much unniceties, okay? So be aware of all those things because as we get closer to cuffing season, there's some people out there that would love to see us in the most unattractive way possible. If you're in the gym, do as gymmers do. If you're in the office, do as office people do. You don't have to go out of your way and venture into not being authentic, into overplaying a role or something. You don't have to do that. Just stay authentic to you and remember temperance. There are some people that would love to pull you out of character. They would love to pull you off balance. They would love to see you fall, trip, hurt yourself. Anything that would take away from you being so smooth, so sexy, so fluent, ebbing so wonderfully. They hate to see things go well for you. Even if you don't think they're going well, the fact that you're breathing without any difficulty pisses someone off right now. It's someone right now that did not want you to wake up. They don't want you to come to work. They hate that you have a cute sense of style. They don't like the way women look at you when you wear a certain cologne and you show up to work with your chest poked out as you talk. It's not that you're doing it to pull all of the women. It's not that you're pandering. It's just that you woke up a man, and you wake up a man every day. And there are some men that know that they don't show up like you. So if you could just stop showing up as manly so that they can assume the what progesterone, what is that, the male hormone, they want to have all of it while giving you none of it, because you've already had so much attention. You've already had a few cute girls. Why don't you just start getting the ugly girls so all the cute girls can go their way? Yeah, there's somebody very sad like that. Imagine being around someone stealing everything, just about everything from them every time you see them smile, and they accumulate more despite you. That's gotta be what burning someone's britches right now, that they keep stealing and you keep growing and getting more. And what's even worse now, collective, now that we're here together, is that you've now cut them off, and they have no way to regenerate off of your energy. So now people are starting to realize that the only reason why this person even had extra or more to begin with is because they were taking from someone else. Now they've got to be authentic, whether they want it or not, because you've caught on, collective. You're shutting off all the vowels. No one's able to garnish anything from your wages and siphon from your energy. There's nobody riding around on mopeds in the middle of the night, just sitting near your building, that's trying to see if they can just hack into your IP address, only because they have nothing else to do, and they've been hired to be miserable. So why not make you miserable? But they don't know that they're about to get the walking papers, because the person that used to pay them, their banks are about to be frozen, their accounts are about to be jacked. And you, who instead of spent your last few years or months going to trade school or finding another way of employment, you use that as a way of life. You told yourself that all you had to do was get paid to exist. All you were going to do was be paid to steal. And then you find out that the one access you had to the abundance is now cut off forever. And not only is it cut off forever by them, you actually push the destructo button. You put everything into motion that makes you deserve being cut off forever, being cast into the darkness, cast into wilderness with no compass, no map, no light, no candle, no lantern. And you've got to stay out there, because let's just face it, the one person that you want to come and get you out of the darkness, you want it gone. So how can you ask the person who you wanted to disappear to do something for you? They're gone. I mean, mentally, that's how you set it up. So why not act accordingly? If I'm dead to you when you speak to people, I'm dead to you for real. You can't pick up the phone to a dead person. You can't ask a dead person to co-sign. You can't earn anything from a person who's already been gone out of your mind for years. You've already had the funeral. So certainly the estate has already been established and dispersed. So you can't ask anything from a person who you've already mentally cloaked away from you. There's no way to gang stalk a person who's no longer in your jurisdiction. Huh? You know, a person who's removed all access from you. Now they're just gang stalking for shits and giggles, because they don't want to admit to themselves that Game over. You see, collective, they thought we was deaf, blind, slow, and stupid. They did. They did. What they didn't realize is that God wanted every last one of them. He didn't want just the ones at the bottom. He wanted the ones at the top because they are the ones that played the longest, biggest game. They're the reason why a lot of children don't believe in God. They're the reason why blasphemy is a thing. They're the reason why we've lost our old ways. We've lost the ways that we were supposed to have gone. They're the reason why we've gone out of one phase of slavery into a whole nother animal called slavery. You see, there are people that want you to be a mental slave, but they know they can't just walk up and tell you to leave yourself and follow me endlessly. So they dress it up like love. They dress it up like concern. They dress it up like family. They dress it up like co-workers and friends and associates. And then they play on your top, never asking you directly to be a slave, but always asking for things very, very fast and demanding without mentioning, but implying all the same, hoping that you never ask for anything in return or you never need anything. Because if you should actually ask for something, they'll just try to gaslight you, saying, you're always taking count, or I did this for you, you should. You know, that sort of thing. So be careful of people hinting you into slavery, tricking you, pushing you ever so lightly without ever directly asking you to forget yourself while taking all count of them. You see, the last trick that they pulled was these kids. They got them through social media, Roblox, Minecraft, GTA, Grand Theft Auto. They got it through Call of Duty. They got it through all the games because the sickos know that that's where the kids go. And all they need is a headphone and some privacy. And the games begin. You see, in that space, in the gamer space, you can become anybody you want. Nobody checks on you because there's a whole nother world being created within those headphones. And you have to be careful because it turns into other worlds. Remember that part in Men in Black? Turn that down, please, Alex. Remember that part in Men in Black when the little fuzzy aliens were in the locker and you realized that there was a world within a world within a universe within a world? Well, that's exactly how things are built. See, you have a world in your mind and then you project it out. And then when you get into these dark web communities, and I will say dark web because it is dark, it's a cult, it's supposed to be not well known things going on that web. And you see, the kids get access to it by way of no face. There's only a voice and there's only a profile picture. And once they get used to working anonymously like that, they tell themselves that they can't get caught because they only identify by that wacky, wacky name and that wacky, wacky profile picture. And then the weird paranormal activities and relationships start to go over to the regular social media with the adults who are using it for marketing. One of the worst sites that I see that they are harvesting from is Indeed. They can go through, pick out your attributes, pick out all of your educations, and then decide whether or not you're good for human trafficking. God forbid you be attractive and smart. There's some sick idiot, there's some sick weirdo somewhere who would just like you to be a face and a hole. And then there's a female that feels exactly like he feels. There are groups of them. They all meet up, and you wouldn't believe who they are. Okay, so be aware of the bosses, the people that you work for, the companies, the shareholders, the investors, the people who sit on the panels, the ones who sit up in the boardrooms. You would be surprised. They look just like you and I because we're all supposed to be mankind, but humanity has escaped quite a few of us, all right? So that was the messages, the oracle message, and also us catching up collective because I believe the things that I go through, you go through too. May not be exactly the same, but we compare notes. Now, don't we? All right. Okay, so let's get into the Psalms 53. Don't mind him. He's having a great morning. We had a good fruity morning. We're going to do some pretty juice Sunday. We're going to do some pretty juice. Yeah, I'm letting this rock and roll like this because I've got a surprise new look coming. Okay, new look loaded. See, I was giving the heifers some time to realize it wasn't a weave, no nails, it wasn't my lip gloss or anything. I am me. I love being me no matter how I show up, whether I brush my hair or not. I love being me. See, some people, they said, oh, well, she acts like this because she has, or regardless of what. However, wherever I wake up, in whatever form, I'm still me. Okay? So now that I've given you bitches a chance to breathe, let's get on with it. Let's get ready to rumble. I made my family disappear. I made my family disappear. Not because I did anything, it's because I know the truth now, and they can't stand next to me with any of those lies. I'm the happiest orphan alive. Psalm 60, let's go. Alex, go somewhere. All that fruit, I mean, he did have some good fruit. Grapes, oranges, cranberries. Okay, the oatmeal is gone. The sausages are gone. Big breakfast for a big boy. Okay, all right. So if you've got somebody to send out, it's better to give them a big breakfast and have a reasonable lunch or dinner when they get home, as opposed to giving them something like cereal or something in the morning and then they crash out a little bit midway through the morning. So if you have a high energy kid, make sure that you're giving them enough in the morning so that it carries on to the afternoon and they come home to a reasonable portion in the evening. You'll cut down on a lot of different mood swings and crash outs. Definitely. All right. So, 60, Psalm 60. O God, thou hast cast us off, thou hast scattered us, thou hast been displeased, O turn thyself to us again. Thou hast made the earth to tremble, thou hast broken it, healed the breaches thereof, for it shaketh. Thou hast showed thy people hard things. Thou hast made us to drink the wine of astonishment. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth. Selah. That thy beloved may be delivered, save with thy right hand, and hear me. God hath spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. I will divide Sichem and Met out of the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine. Ephraim also is the strength of mine head. Judah is my lawgiver. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia triumph thou because of me. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Wilt not thou, O God, which hadst cast us off, O thou, O God, which didst not go out with our armies? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Through God we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies. Amen. Selah, so let it be. Selah, Selah, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So you see in this scripture, we know that wickedness does exist. We also know that God did make a plan. He did pick out the tribes. He knows what family they belong to. He knows their bloodline. He knows them by the fruit that they bear. He knows by their last names, by their first names. He knows by their deeds. He knows by the squint in their eye and the raise of their eyebrows. He knows by the twist of their wrist. He knows how his children move, and he has planned accordingly. It is God who shall take revenge for you, collective. It is God who is protecting you, who has lifted you out every time when you were about to get robbed, when they were about to attack you, when they put that poison in your cup, when they slipped that poison in your plate. It is God who brought you through and allowed you to at least feel it so that you could be aware and made to know that there was something, there was danger that was lingering around you, and it was God that gave you the signal that you needed to detach. It was God that made you put your keys down and lose them for those extra seconds so that you could bypass that accident. It was God that made you late to lunch so that you didn't get that tainted food. It was God that made you change your schedule so that they couldn't change the menu. It was God that made you late that day, for there was going to be a mass shooting and you showed up late, or you didn't show up at all. It was God that made you miss that bus, for you missed that crash. Sometimes when things happen and you say, I made it by the skin of your teeth, I made it by the skin of my teeth, that was God making you aware that danger is certainly lurking and it's trying to get to you. Somebody needs to be praying. Somebody needs to be thankful for being missed, for being rejected, for being stepped over. Have you ever been in line to get something and for some reason you've either got to go to the bathroom, you've got to leave early, something happens and you feel as though you lost something because you stayed in line and you invested that time, yet something pulls you away? Do you know that you missed that MRSA? You missed that contact dermatitis. You missed the cross contamination. You missed that scammer on that skimmer on the card read. You missed something. There was something that pulled you away from it, but it wanted you to be close enough to witness the next person or the person that went before you go through it so it could stop you all the way and make you aware that there's somebody you need to look at from the left, the right, the up, and the down, because there's something around you that wants to stop you or disturb you. That thy beloved may be delivered. Save with thy right hand and hear me. Sometimes when you're not listening, when you're not paying attention to the little subtle movements, the subtle messages that are coming through to you, you end up caught up in the enemy's trap, in his net. And this is why you have to spend time with yourself so that you could be aware. When you keep yourself distracted, when you keep yourself surrounded by people who you don't know, you don't really know. You could never know a person not unless they allow you to know them. And even the smartest person knows to keep something to themselves. So you need to stay aware. You need to stay alert. You need to stay woke. And the most personal thing you could do is stay alert to yourself, your inside alerts, your gut feelings, the nudges that you get from the inside. No, if you talking to voices, I don't know who you talking to. When spirit moves on you, it's like a thought that you've already had in your own voice. It's like something you've already thought about before, but now you're getting the confirmation. That's how the spirit works for you. If you hearing voices, I need you to go and see somebody professional. Go run help now. Because the way spirit talks to you is by your own thoughts. It uses your own motion, the things that you know about, and it gives you the hint. When it gets a little off, then you know that you need to be paying attention to things that are around you, because someone's trying to project their own feelings, their own thoughts. They're using their words. They're using their words against you. They're speaking something into your existence. And it's most important for you to know thyself, because if you know thyself, you can push any messages that are not coming from you away from you. You know what? I'm having a good day. Why do I feel this sudden wave of animosity? That can't be me. That might be somebody within my energy that's angry with me, because I'm not angry. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself like that, not giving any answer, but you know the answer. Once that question leaves you, you pretty much can answer it right away without even moving your mouth. You know you weren't angry prior to that. You know nothing happened prior to that. So when you get that feeling, just know that there's somebody who's thinking about you too heavily to keep it to themselves. But they won't come in your face and say anything. They're going to sit there and stew. They're going to sit there and write it over and over again. They're going to call somebody on the phone that won't say anything to them, and they're going to openly vent to them. But once it leaves their mouth, it's out in the universe. And if you happen to be as sensitive and as tuned in as the collective is, sometimes you might feel it. You might get the gist of it, like, hey, it's somebody negative in my energy. I just got a feeling that I know wasn't emitting from me. I just got a frequency that just didn't sound right. It's almost like hearing a song and then something off key just happened. Something that ain't quite harmonious pops up. And that's when you know that there is somebody who's discontent with you. I'm not saying change your day because somebody happens to be discontent, but be aware that those things might transport in your life. You feel that feeling, you go to the grocery store, and next thing you know, the cashier is being a bit curt with you. They being a bit, quick with you, short with you, I should say. It's not because you did anything. It's just that when a person on the other end is vibrating just as low as the person emitting the frequency, sometimes those frequencies transmute right on over to another person who's vibrating just like that person, and they don't know why they being nasty with you either. It's just that they haven't cleaned up something that they got going on. You see how that works? Everybody I know, pretty much people that come here, I know you seen what Denzel Washington in Fallen, and how that demon seemed to be able to get into all the people who had a little bit of animosity in them. Some abandonment wounds, some mama wounds, some daddy wounds, some Santa Claus wounds, some type of wound. And this is why the cashier will be short with you out of the blue, and you trying to figure out, Miss, do I know you from somewhere, sir? Did I have we laid together? Why are you treating me as though I'm your ex-girlfriend? And it's not because you've done anything to them. It's because they're vibrating low enough. They've been hurt. They got energy leaks in themselves that they haven't addressed, and nobody's ever talked to them like that. So they wouldn't even know what you talking about. And that ain't the time to teach them, especially when they vibrating low enough to pick up the frequency of somebody all the way across town hating you. Hopefully that didn't go over nobody's head. When you are in a higher frequency, sometimes you're going to see people, demons, get irritated when you come in the room. Not because they know you personally, it's because they're dealing with a low frequency within them. And whoever, wherever they are, is thinking that hard about you that the frequency does transmit through the universe and land on whoever is low vibrational around you. Some people can't even understand why they treated you that way, yet they felt the need to try to humble you. They felt the need to take that smile off your face. They felt a need to get it under your skin. Not because they knew you, it's because they were vibrating low enough to pick up the entity that was transmuted through the universe by way of hate, envy, jealousy, greed, gluttony, covetous, all that stuff, by way of adultery, by way of being hypersexual, all of that will transmit to a person around you who is vibrating that low because they open. All the windows of their house happen to be open, so any of those feelings, which are easily transmitted, can come through in another person as long as they are not dealing in happiness. They're not dealing in love. They're not dealing in purity. They're not dealing in authenticity. So they're going to pick up anything that anybody is putting down because they don't stand for anything at that time. It's nothing standing in the way of that entity, that spirit, that feeling, that frequency. So it's nothing to block it. So guess what? If you are impressionable, if you're on social media and it seems as though everything that you watch seems to end up happening, seems to end up in your house, in your bathroom, or in your body, you are an easily impressed upon person. Anybody can influence you. And guess what? That means you have openings. That means somebody can come in and say, why you got on orange? And you'll actually look at yourself and say, well, why do I have on orange? Maybe I should change these colors. And next thing you know, you angry with the next person who got on orange. You don't even know why you angry at the next person that got on orange. It's because you are easily impressed upon. And now you're looking for validation off a person who really probably just threw that thought out there, not even thinking about nobody but you. You so weak and impressionable, you thinking about somebody who ain't even thinking about you. You considering somebody who ain't even. And once a person see that you're that impressionable, oh yeah, you open for abuse. Once a person know that they can get you to change your hairstyle, change your outfit, change your life, give them extra even though they haven't deserved it, talk to you any kind of way, and because you don't want to be the bad person, you going to let them, oh yeah, they going to take it and run with it. I remember there was a situation. I knew I could beat the girl up. But the thing about it was, I didn't like confrontation. I didn't know that the girl was going to take me not beating her up as an invitation to try to drag me through the streets. Good thing she was smart enough not never to say the stuff in front of me, because that would have given me all justification. So what she did was go through the whole entire streets and community talking. Oh, they soft. I tried them. I said this, and that, and the third. Not knowing that words may not move you, but you got to be careful with that. Because some people, they try you just so that they can go about the city. Oh, they soft. They ain't going to do nothing to me. Not realizing you don't get active off of people, stupid people not having good words. They don't know that you wasn't willing to throw away your freedom for the night because somebody decided that they can talk shit to you. They didn't know that you was like, oh, they pretty much bald headed. They pretty much come from the ghetto, so you expect that. So you really wasn't kept, checking for it because you know what people that have nothing would do to people that have something. So you don't let words unearth you, but this person took it as a green light that you was a chump all because you don't get active over words. So now they go around some real thugs giving them this information, not knowing that they giving them a green light to come at you for real. See, where this person was a whore and just talk a lot, they went around some dangerous people and said that, not knowing that they was putting you in a grab bag. And the crazy part about it is, because you talk so much, the same person that you put in the grab bag, they're going to come back and get you because you the one gave out the information. You loosen your lips. And if you get angry with them the same way you got angry with somebody who didn't do nothing to you, they got to get you too, because shit, if you could carry that out on a person who didn't do nothing, you could definitely get low on a person who would do something to you. So now they got to clean that up because your mouth too much. See, people never think. They just go off of what they know. The world is round for a reason. Things go around. Some people really take themselves out of the circle, not realizing that there's a bigger circle right on the interim, ready to eat them up. This is why some people stay in very small cliques, because they understand that the minute they should step out, nobody, they get no loyalty from nobody. So they've got to move real tight like that. And the crazy part about it is, when you move real tight like that, there's always somebody that knows what you did. And you better hope they don't double think how you be moving. Because if you ain't shit, they got an opportunity and a justification to be just as low as you. A lot of people forget that. They forget the rule of thumb. They forget that what goes up can come down, especially if it's them. Wild thing, collective. So pay attention to the people who are in the corners, the people who always show up, but they don't really want to be heard. They're just around for all the stories. Pay attention to the person who's not saying as much. You never know what they know. If you have a conversation with them, that could change your whole entire world. That can change the way you see things. That can change the direction you may even go in. Have the conversations. There's somebody who knows way more than what you think. hmm There's somebody who's done way more than what you think. Have you ever had somebody looking at you and you could see mentally that they're preparing to piss you off? And it's not because they know you. It's because in that moment that they saw you, they decided that you didn't look like you've been through anything. And they were going to be the one. Not realizing that you pretty much been through World War II, III, and IV, never having to leave the land. And they decided they was going to be one more offender in your life. And then you turn around and you cuss them stink from head to toe. And they sitting there left with their mouth open like, well, that's because you tried to play, baby. And somebody seen you coming and they decided that they was going to cut you off at the pass. Some people don't realize why some people come out of a bag on them right away. It's because everybody don't got to look like what they've been through. Everybody don't have to be raggedy, wrinkled, out of shape, ashy, and wore down and hunched over so that you could give them a little bit of grace and a little bit of mercy. Everybody shouldn't have to look like Quasimodo and Igor for you to just let up off of them. There are some people who handled whatever they had to handle well enough to be okay the next day. And a lot of you don't like that. You tell yourself you're going to be different. You're going to be the one. Not knowing that they didn't pass through so many people that looked at them and decided that they were going to ruin their day. And here you come, another one, another shrimp on the Barbie. And then they roast your ass and you sitting there feeling offended because you told yourself you was going to be the crux in somebody's day. But they, what? Uno reversed your ass and caught you because they saw that old nasty look. They saw the switch of the hip. They saw you shift feet. They saw you go from one side to this. They saw you, yeah. Shorty thinks she all that. I'm gonna make her feel ugly. So, and then I'm gonna ask for a number. Y'all stupid. Y'all is dumb. Y'all be trying to tear people down so that you could get access to them. Lord, I hope that never finds me ever again. What's wrong with y'all? Why do you want a person that you can tear down? That's a red flag, by the way. The moment a person tries to nag you, tries to love bomb you, tries to take the smile off of your face, the minute somebody say smile as though they're entitled, they don't know what the hell you just went through. You might have just stubbed your toe and you holding your breath and don't want to say nothing. And then you got some idiot talking about smile. If I wanted to smile, I'd be smiling. I'm not a dog. Don't demand shit from me. Sometimes you gotta be like that. And I realize that because in some places, they don't like happiness. Misery is well received. Happiness is a detriment. especially when you come from small metropolitans where poverty is romanticized and luxury is villainized. Stay away from those people. Stay away from people who think it's funny to make other people suffer. Stay away from people that are sadistic and masochist in nature. They don't say it, but you can see it. Those people usually never say it. They usually have the biggest smile. That's because they just got ruining somebody else's life in a few seconds. So they can smile so big, but it usually only lasts for a little while. You'll usually turn around and see them grimacing within a breath, within a second, within a few minutes. It doesn't last long, especially when a person gets happiness off of hurting other people. So pay attention, keep your head on a swivel. There are people, and for some reason, it's the children nowadays. The children are being turned out by social media, by the music, by other adults who make it look so easy to get money. And they're not telling these kids that they are breaking so many laws just to look good one more day. They're not telling people how many food stamps. They're not telling people how many things they selling. They're not telling people how much they selling themselves. They're not telling people none of that. They're just making it look good to get money, not telling people the ugliness that they had to pass through to get paid. So this is why I teach to be satisfied with what you have and know that if you don't have it, do the work or don't. But don't be entitled. And don't make a person feel bad for if they don't. Because some people didn't want to put in the work. Some people couldn't. Some people didn't have the time. Some people are satisfied with what they have. So why should you come around trying to make them feel bad for what they have? Be satisfied and let them be satisfied. Some people had to go through a lot just for the basics, where you probably didn't. But it doesn't give you any right to triangulate them with their lifestyle versus your lifestyle. You wanted to put in that work. You wanted to do that sacrifice. You wanted to put in them hours. Don't make a person feel bad for not wanting to. If they're satisfied, if they don't need anything from you, then it's none of your business. And this is the problem. People make other people's business their business, and they don't want to do good business. They're just using your business to hide what their real business is. Don't let that go over your head. There are a lot of hypocrites out here. Just because a person can put on a few name brands and iron a shirt or two doesn't mean that they did it in good standing. The same way some people look dusty and dirty, that doesn't mean that they're a criminal. That just means that they had to get dirty. They had to get up in these streets to get what they needed to get done. We can't assume. Stop assuming. Either help, have the conversation, or don't. But mind your business. People are so quick to be up in other people's business, not knowing any of the things that people have to go through. But they got a nerve to say, I don't want you in my business, while curtly trying to get all the information off of you. Y'all being weird. Real weird. And you know the children are watching, and it only gets worse by generation. The younger they get, the harder they go. And this is what you have to know. These people start off as innocent babies, and they end up adults just like you, if they happen to be lucky enough to live long enough. So stop taking your moments, your life, your milestones for granted. Because there's somebody who would love to live you the life you live, who would love the access, who would love the options. And they won't take it for granted. And they will love getting things without having to look over their back. There are some people who actually live a law-abiding life. They may not be as fancy. They may not be as braggadocious. They may not be as flashy, but that's because the minute people see that they're happy and satisfied with not going overboard, for some reason, they come and attack them and try to destroy them. Because how dare you be satisfied with your little when I can't even be satisfied with my lot? And that was the message. Don't turn back lest you turn into a pillar of salt. Amen. Ashe, ashe, ashe. All right. So let's get into the tarot. That switch up be crazy, right? Don't break my favorite glass. I like my glasses. All right. Brought to you by Hawaiian Coffee. I decided to switch it all the way up. I needed a darker roast, something that I could smell, something like a phenomenon, something like a phenomenon. Who does that? Oh my God, something like a phenomenon, something like a phenomenon. Is that Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes? Something like a phenomenon. Who is that? Something like a phenomenon. Oh my God, I hope it's not. Oh my gosh, is that? Oh my God, is that But okay, that LL Cool J, Todd Smith. There's a Todd and there's a Smith. Might be the same name, but there's a Todd and there's a Smith. There's somebody with the name of Todd and there's somebody with the last name of Smith, right? Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes. I don't know why I'm thinking of Busta Rhymes. Something like a phenomenon though. That's a bald head man. So it's a bald head man. There's a man named Todd. There's a last name Smith. Undercover agent. Deep blue sea. Okay. Somebody likes to swim. Somebody can swim. They're really good in water. Somebody likes water. So somebody's a water sign. It's a water sign. It's a water sign, either a Cancer or a Scorpio. And there's a man named Todd. There's a Smith. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm thinking Busta Rhymes, but it has something to do with some transgender, a transgender man, woman, something like that, or cross dressing, something about that, right? There's a man that likes to dress like a woman, or he's trying to do the change. Okay. Deep blue sea. I remember when Samuel Jackson was doing the little pep talk and he got ate by the shark. It's somebody that talks too much. It's somebody that talks too much, right? And when they get to talking, they don't be on point. It's something about somebody talking and not being on point. There's somebody named Todd. There's somebody named Smith. There's somebody who's a transgender. They deal with transgenders, or they are a transgender, or they cross dress. It's something about somebody's confused sexuality. Somebody wants to be a woman, or at least they are jealous of women. It's a lot of men that's jealous of women nowadays for a lot of different reasons. But the craziest part is they use women against women and don't like women. And the craziest part is these women be so gassed up because they know how to get them. They gas them up and then they treat them like shit while they gassing them up. They treat them like bitches and hoes, but they never say you a bitch or a hoe because you might catch on the fact that they don't really like your ass. So they call you queen. They call you all these nice endearing things while actually treating you like a shit bag. And that's how they triangulate you against other women. Because you're like, no, they not better than me. They don't look better than me. They don't smell better than me. They can't do this better than me. And the whole time they laughing at your goofy ass because they don't even like you for real. They just need you so distracted and fighting with the other women that you don't understand that him and the homeboys hitting each other off when you leave the house because they can't look better than me. They can't shop more than me. They can't buy more than me. They can't get no wig like me. They can't get their hair done like me. And they sitting there laughing at your ass with their hand in their pants like, I can't wait for her to leave, yo. You go hit me off when she leave. You go hit me off when she leave. And you too busy beefing with the next broad, not even realizing he don't even like you because he like boys. And you don't even realize the reason why he hollered at you when y'all first got together is because one of his boys. So one of his boys saying that you be thirsty, put them on because they say, yo, you could gas her up. She be getting that money. You gas her up. You go over there. we will still be together, but Shorty got money. You could use her and you could live at her house because I ain't got no way for you to live right now. I'm pretty much trying to stay with my baby mother. So you stay over there with your baby mother and we just gonna gas them up and have them fighting against each other. So they ain't gonna know either we gonna have them fighting against each other or we gonna hook them up and they gonna be best friends and they gonna keep each other out our face so that we could get this money and we can hit each other off. And eventually when we get enough money, we going toss them bitches over because we gonna get a higher class of women. That's them Yahoo boys. Yeah. They gonna get a better class of women because they need more money for their lifestyle. And once they get with some of the Nigerian boys and some of the other African boys, the Igbo boys, and they become Babalaos because once they meet up with some of them and they find out the reason why all them boys got all them cuts on their face and on their arms, and they like, ooh, can I get into spirituality and can I do this? And they start making sacrifices and treating bitches dirty. Yeah, I do realize that all the women that was hanging around you, they ended up getting essayed. And I saw that letter where one of your homegirls told you she got sexually assaulted, and you was like, and you didn't care. And you also didn't tell her to reach out and get support because you weren't supporting her, because the reason why it happened is because you had it happen. You left her. She went to a party thinking that you was going to protect her or at least come home and do something to the boys who essayed her. She don't know the reason why she got essayed is because she's associated with you and you and your little crummy clique. This is what y'all do. Y'all gather a bunch of B and C bitches, whether they look good or not. Y'all get around them. Y'all don't really care for them a lot. So y'all gather them around, gas them up, had them feeling all liberal. Oh, we don't care. You can sleep with this one. We ain't never say y'all was boyfriend or girlfriend. Whole time they talking about y'all like slut bags and hoes in the background. But in front y'all face, oh yeah, that's my homegirl. Y'all good, we good. No, but y'all really about that life and y'all really attacking these girls and essaying them and harvesting off of their stuff. But they not thinking no further than because they like, oh, y'all only get over on older women. Y'all only get over on the mature ones. Yeah, it's a bunch of young ones, preteens, 18, 19, 20 something year olds that's out here allowing these boys to run on them and harvest off them, and they so busy thinking that y'all getting over on older women's, they don't even know that they are in the interim. They are paying the price right now trying to be cool with some of these dudes who are DL. They just don't know enough to say that they DL, haven't lived long enough for people to label them that because they're just with their homeboys all day wearing those masks. No, they don't want to they don't want nobody to catch the fact that y'all a little bit more than homeboys. That's why y'all like to hide y'all face. Y'all a little bit more than homeboys, and we see y'all sneaking around at night because you still with your homeboys during the night or the day, whatever shift y'all check, and y'all go hunch on each other when nobody's looking. But in the interim, y'all pick up every broad y'all see because that's the cover. Y'all start covering from very early, I'm starting to realize. When you see a clique of men and women hanging together young, that's the beginning. That's the beginning. Must be the season of the witch. Yeah, that's when it usually happens. When those preteen hormones set in, when they get to pants rubbing, that's when it starts to happen. That's when it starts to manifest. Yeah, yeah. So catch them before the age of 13, at the age of 13, and straight through from the age of 13. That's when you're in danger. From the age of 13 to the age of 22. Catch them. Wrangle them like a cowboy. Get you some roping. Wrangle them in, because I'm trying to tell you, if you don't, I'm telling you from experience. I got a wild steer who I'm glad I let out into the wilderness, because if I would have kept him near me, he would have either bankrupted me or had me going to jail, because I'd be damned if the person who I damn near died pushing into this earth is going to be the reason why I damn leave it. Shit, you got to be shitting me. Huh. And that's why he had to hide from me, because he know good and goddamn well I don't play that shit. And the fact that his father sat in my face trying to get me to get him a drink from the bar while simultaneously living off me all his life, You goddamn career vagabond. And then to have the last one, the ex-husband try to get in on the same thing. Do you know this man that like really gave up his government job just to make sure he wasn't giving me anything by way and by instruction of his baby mother? I'll call her the baby father because she wear the pants more than him. By his baby mother and my mother and all them weird ass females that I'm supposed to be related to. I'm the happiest orphan alive today. Thank you, God. Anyway, Page of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Magician. Let's go. For some reason, it's funny to me because when you are a survivor and you really adore your life and you really see things for the real that they are in a real way that they have been played out, you just gotta laugh. Cause damn. All right, so the Page of Cups, somebody in their feelings, somebody's off balance, and something's manifesting, okay? We've got a 3, which is the creator. The creator is in here today because he got me telling it all. I told you that, I'm telling you, when God starts to work in your life, he just hints you in places like, who knew I was going to go in that corner and do what I did and pull out all of that paperwork that basically said that this child has been operating out of order for a long time, and somebody that's an adult has been signing my fucking name. It's like, damn, who was signing for you to get through all of this, through all of these therapies, through all of this stuff? And I was like, I ain't getting no notifications. Didn't know he was going through anything. I didn't know none of that. That meant that there were people enabling that and coaching them so that they can benefit. So you see, even though I was making plenty of money because I stayed at work, there were situations that were sitting around me just taken from me and telling everybody that I was the wrong one while they were just being bums. There were people who really didn't plan on ever working. They were just going to allow me to work and find a way to maximize the money that they were siphoning from me. Y'all don't get y'all rat ass away from me. It's over. It's over. You're going to have to fill out an application or something. You're going to have to apply for some assistance because I ain't helping nobody do shit. I'm trying to tell you the way these funeral announcements going to bypass me. I'm be like, oh, another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. And another one, and another one, and another one bites the dust. It's no pressure, no skin off my back. Like, who? You mean to tell me I could have been alright had I just dumped y'all all like years ago? You mean to tell me I could have been an unfit mother and it would have been justified? You mean to tell me that I put myself through all that when I just could have been ain't shit like you? Damn. I kept telling people I should have never been a good mother because it got taken advantage of. I don't mean that for real, but I do know, hey, once I'm done my job, I can step away with no guilt at all. And it'd be best for you to do that, collective. I'm trying to tell you, I don't get no breakouts. I barely got a gray hair, and I'm supposed to have them. That's what happiness and satisfaction do. That's what being a real realist do. You know, not one of them fake realists. You know, the people who do a bunch of stuff and then come saying, oh, by the grace of God. No, move to the left. You're about to get struck, winch. I'm advise you. I'm trying to tell you, if you know you standing by somebody who's really hypocritical, you might want to stay within an arm's length away from them just in case they get struck by lightning or something, and you need to move. Okay, so if you're far at a safe distance already, you might be able to create more distance in the future. Mm-hmm. 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 Dun it, dun it. Agatha Tabitha, bewitched. Bewitched. Cute, quirky. Ooh, my divine partner is loading. Yours is too. See, when you get into a frequency, when you start letting people go, when you get all that negativity out of your energy, you start calling in things that you never knew that you could have, things that would have never manifested had you not surrendered everything that was going wrong in your life. Do you know what that feels like? Do you know what you're going through? Do you understand what the world is showing you? Do you know? Not this. Look, this thing came home so happy yesterday. Look, I put it back. He gonna come back for it. Did you see that? These children. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this one too. So when you get into the frequency of love, it's like nothing really bothers you. Nothing really takes you down as much as it might give you a little bit of pause because you need to know how to respond to it. Remember, I've been telling you about temperance almost for a month now because there are people that did things because they were hoping that you were in despair. They were hoping to triangulate you against yourself, against your heart, against your feelings. They were hoping to guilt trip you. Some people were hoping to do you dirty all your life. And then when they had no other choice, they were going to come back and give you a sob story. Oh, I was going through this. You see, this had happened and what had happened and I didn't. And some people were really going to try to justify dragging you through the dirt, keep kicking your back in. Some people were going to try to justify the fact that they never took the time to talk out to you, yet they took the time to log in and watch you. Some people are going to try to apologize to you because it's no longer lucrative to destroy you. It's no longer lucrative or beneficial to speak your name in a bad way because now they can't come back. They can't knock on your door. They can't sit on your toilet. They can't get a plate. They can't pull up. Some people are upset because now they're starting to realize that they've closed the door on their own future when it comes to you. See, they used you to get to the level that they are. And when they got secure, when they felt secure around the people that they were around, they were happy to close the door on you because they told themselves that once they used everything that they thought you had, they were going to elevate themselves, not realizing that they actually needed you to even approach where they were, the next level, and the next level that they're visualizing. See, the problem is they got so confident leaving you out of the picture that they didn't realize that you were the paint. You were indeed the easel, the material. You were actually the framework that they built upon. So when you pulled away your structure, your support, your framework, and they found themselves painting with nothing but their finger and water on a piece of unofficial paper, no stationery, no rice sheets, no nothing, no nothing. Then they started to realize, hey, this person was the investor. This person gathered the materials. This person was my foundation. And now that you're gone, they're falling through because there's nothing to support it. There's nothing to reinforce. There's nothing there. But they closed the door on you. So they don't go to another level. They actually found themselves at a plateau. And even for some, they are finding themselves in a slow, gradual descent. something they never thought that they would be on. See, when they told people that you were nothing as shifty and as shady and as shaky as something built on sand, they didn't factor in that you might even be quick. And that's the thing about quicksand. You don't know it until you try to stand still upon it and you start to feel yourself losing the height you thought you climbed to. See, that's the thing with being a complex person. You have all sorts of terrain. Not knowing that you have some soil that is fruitful, you have a play area that you happen to have covered in sand. What they didn't know is that you had enough acres and enough complexity in your life that you actually do have some dark areas where you do allow things to go and disappear. That is called out of sight, out of mind, and you leave that on the outskirts. See, when they told themselves that they were closing the door on you, they didn't know the terrain of your land. They didn't know what you were overseeing. They didn't know that you had a dark side. They didn't know that you had a black hole in which you put things that no longer served you. They didn't know when they walked over your land, they never knew the terrain. They didn't know the latitude and the longitude. They didn't know how big your world expanded because they'd gotten comfortable with one spot. They just found that nice comfy spot on your land and they pitched a tent and they told themselves that they would revisit this space every year upon the year and they would pee and leave trash and all that stuff as they camped out in the spot that is you. But what they didn't know is that you had so much vast land that you also had some land that you didn't quite visit a lot. And when they tried to leave you without letting you know that they were closing the door on you, they fucked up. They walked out on a land that is quicksand, the land that you no longer visit because it no longer serves a purpose, but it does happen. This is the thing. People get so happy taking all account of the good part of you that they don't remember that there was a bad part at a time, but you put it aside. And you don't even go on that side anymore. You don't even show people that you have quicksand in your property, but it's yours. You see, that's the part of being satisfied. When you're satisfied with yourself, you're also satisfied with the bad parts that go with the good parts. So when they walked off on your land, not even knowing all the things that you had been through, all the land that you had taken on, everything that you have been maintenancing, they walked over into your sand. And they stood there surveying the land. Hey, I've never been there before. I'm about to cross them, so they don't need to see me departing. Had they had that conversation with you, you would have warned them that there's a part of you that they don't want to cross. But they found out the hard way. They passed through the terrain that you don't go through a lot. They don't know the ugly parts of you. That's how they ended up on your quicksand. Because they told themselves that now that they've closed the door on you, they were going to do what they wanted on your land. But they ended up on your quicksand. And they stood still for that moment, surveying all of what they were coming back to disrespect, not knowing that the land was about to disrespect them in the best way. So they found themselves in the midst of all the land that you call yours, that they were surveying because they wanted to take everything that you had, not even knowing what it is that you were dealing with. Because they'd only taken part in the best parts of your life. They never talked to you about your quicksand. They never talked to you about the weeds. They never talked to you about the infestation. They never talked to you about all the other things that you had to maintenance because they only took count of the beachfront. They only took count of the ocean. They only took count of the vastness of the garden. They didn't understand that you had to put the ugly things aside. You had to cover them with an invasive species just to get a boundary. So now that they find themselves over in your terrain that was less traveled because they never asked about the bad part, they only wanted the good parts from you. Now they find themselves sinking. And they're asking you, why didn't you tell me that you were this deep? Why didn't you tell me that shit could get ugly? Why didn't you tell me that there was a bad part to you? Well, that's because you were only interested in the part that benefited you. Now, this is the part that benefits me. You not knowing how deep it could get. You not knowing that I have a part to me that happens to be a little dark and you stepped on over there because you tried to cross my terrain, not really knowing me, not having the conversation, but wanting to be on my land. Keep going. There's a moat too. There's piranhas too. There's gators too. I never told you about them because you never asked. You only came to take advantage. You only came for a vacation. You only came to harvest. You never came to work. You never came to till the soil. You never came to be a fisherman. You only came to eat. So, of course, you didn't see what I had to pass through in order to feed you. You never saw all the things that I had to take care of so that you can enjoy the good part that is my island. So when I see you crossing my terrain in uncharted land, land that I never sent you across, land that you were never interested in, how dare you ask for my assistance to get out of it? You weren't supposed to be over there anyway. And hey, if you had gotten what you really wanted, who would you be asking? Imagine you do all the things that you can to take my life away from me, to take my terrain away from me, to take away my land away from me. You end up there alone. I'm gone because you wanted me out of here, right? And you go on my land and you didn't tell anybody because you're a sneaky son of a bitch. You didn't tell anybody you were stealing my land. So then you go on my land and you go on the quicksand and now you're disappearing. I'm not there to warn you because you never asked the question. So now you're gone. And nobody's asking for you because they're used to you disappearing because you got them used to your patterns. Ask no questions. If I haven't said anything, no news is good news. That's what you told people. And they got used to you moving like that. So you go on my land because you told everybody I'm gone. You go on my land and my land eats you. Isn't that fitting? Isn't that ironic? I think that's a poetic end. That's a poetic justice. My land eats you up because you weren't supposed to be there because you ate me up. I think that's an eye for an eye. And this is why you have the hard conversations. Too many times people want your life not knowing exactly what you had to go through because you only show them the good side. If they really asked, if they were really interested in you, they'd know the ugly side and they'd stay away from that. They'd know that your land isn't all rainbows, all pools, all beaches. There are some rough patches. There are some quicksand. There are some mountains. There are some hills. There are some ditches. But people often want to travel the best side of you and leave the worst side of you because they would feel guilty. They wouldn't do you as bad as they did you if you showed damage. And some people need you to be torn up by the world before they give you any mercy or grace. And that's an awful thing because they have to live the same world that you live. And God forbid they end up in the same company that they've been, other people. Somebody comes around and doesn't travel their terrain and treats them the same way. God forbid. Thank God for karma and dharma. I do live by that. What goes around does come around. So if you're really ready to reap, go on and sow it. Go on and sow it. All right, back to our tarot. Let's get through this real quick. We've already spent enough time getting through this life and navigating our way through life's hell in such a way that it gets expressed in the best way possible so that people can understand. You've got to take this life with a grain of salt. It's got minerals, okay? It's got minerals. All right, so the Page of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, asking for balance and manifestation, the Magician. What is that? Co-creating with the Creator. That is a 3. We're going to start off in Capricorn because Capricorn started off with us, okay? So someone's either stubborn or someone's grounded. Either way, there's a little war. There's a tug of war going on, a pull, a leveraging happening, right? So someone's deep in their feelings. The balance, the universe is trying to balance out, which is the creator. The creator is working to balance this thing out because they have manifested way too many dark workers in ratio to the light workers, okay? There are a lot of people trying to manifest good things, but they can't because there are generational curses that are holding things back. There are people that don't even understand that they're operating in the darkness because they don't even understand the whole terrain of themselves. There are ugly pieces of themselves that they no longer visit because people tend to bully and pick at people when they do not know people's plight. There are a lot of people that aren't gentle with people, all because they tell themselves, well, if I had to get through this hard time, if that happened to me, then why should I help them? Why should I save them? Why should I spare them? And that is the problem. There are too many hurt people trying to hurt people. They feel as though they can't be a savior. They don't want to be a savior. They feel as though it is weak to reach out a helping hand. They feel as though it is weak to not let a person go through a hard time. If you see a person approaching a situation that may not be in their best interest, there are a lot of people who allow a person to go through a thing instead of reach out their hand and say, hey, can I stop you right there? Hey, can we have a talk? Hey, that might not be good for you. And there are way too many people who are hard headed and do not want to listen. There are some people that have been through the ringer and they love to give advice. They would love to stop you from hurting yourself. But there are way too many people who would rather go through the hard lessons. And once they go through the hard lessons, they have a nerve to be hurt. But it's unnecessary hurt is because someone was trying to intervene. Someone was sent as an intercessor. Someone gave you some information and you decided that either you were too tough, you were too cool, or you were just that person that you were above the situation happening to you. How do you feel now? There's somebody right here now who said that could never be me, and now they're sitting there being the never. There's somebody right now who said, that could never, I would never, that would not be me. I can't see me doing it. Yet they're seeing themselves living it right now. Someone tried to save you. Someone tried to give you the point, but you told yourself that you would not value their words. You would not value their opinions. You told yourself that you would not value them. You told yourself that you were better than them. That could never happen to you. You told yourself that you were better than that guy. You are stronger. You are tougher. You are meaner. Yet it happened to you even worse than it happened to that other person. Here you are. So the universe is working to let people see themselves the way that they are. The universe is working to make everybody transparent to themselves. You have to look at the man or the woman in the mirror to understand what you're putting out there. Some people aren't dealing with what you say. They are dealing with what you do. Are you aware of the things that you do? This is the Capricorn reading. We have the Page of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the One Magician. The world is working. The Creator is working. Hopefully you're working. There are manifestations going on. There are people that are pulling on positive frequency, positive energy. There are people that are restoring optimism and hope. There are some people who would like to destroy that optimism and hope, because if they actually get these people around to have optimism and hope, there will be a lot of chaos agents. There will be a lot of people that are sent in to dissemble that would have nothing to do. They'll be bored and they'll start acting out, because there are a lot of people that want to get their lives together, and there are a lot of people who cannot benefit if you do decide to get on the straight and narrow. Be aware, Capricorn reading. Stoicism, having a heart but being passionate enough to rub people wrong until you get the right rub. Now, there's somebody who actually cuts people off before they even get past. There's somebody who's been nice so long that they can't be nice any longer because it's starting to be detrimental to their health. They're starting to get high blood pressure. They're starting to get the sugars. They're starting to do things, eating because they're stressed out, drinking because they're stressed out, smoking because they're stressed out. It's somebody that's starting to realize that they do a lot more when certain people come around. And when they don't have those people around, they save money. It's like they're trying to get into Geico, but not really, okay? Some people are starting to realize the correlation to their wallet and their company. Even if you're not directly giving money to a person that's coming around you, you're noticing that you're spending a lot more. You're going to the market a lot more. You're putting in more work because they are around. You see how that what if you stop letting them come around? What if you stop feeding them? What if you stop partying with them? The best way to get rid of a person that parties a lot is to stop drinking, stop smoking, and stop sharing. Yeah, there are a lot of us that aren't really pressed about food. We think when we eat, everybody in the room has to eat. Stop feeding people a couple of days. See how dry your phone get. See how people stop knocking on your door when they know that they can't get anything out of your fridge. Stop treating people to drinks. Just because you're drinking don't mean that you got to pay for all around. You'll realize there are a lot of people that won't party with you, and it's crazy that they only ask for top shelf liquor when y'all together. Because if you were to really ask the people who sit at the bar, they would tell you they only take rail shots when you're not around. They only get the specials when you're not around. Only when you come around do they want to drink Grand Marnier. Only when you come around do they order the real stuff. Right. Because there are some people that only front when you're around. They need your access to have access to the life that you have. There are some people that only eat McDonald's, but when you show up, they've got to have a lamb chop. They've got to have a steak. There are some people that eat at every bar because they don't buy groceries. There are some women that take advantage of the guys that eat at every bar because they don't buy groceries. Be careful of living in poverty around people because some people seek out people that they can leverage. Yeah, the power dynamic is real. Some people only want people that they could fix because they're broken. Be careful of people who came up without nothing and they're not satisfied. Let me explain. You might have a guy who came up, maybe they did push themselves to the limit and finally get a good job. Maybe they did push themselves to the limit and finally get a degree. That same person who went through all those struggles will turn around and try to actually find a partner who they can browbeat with their success. I don't know why you don't have this. I went to school. I don't know why you don't have that. I got some money. And instead of them actually go be with somebody who they don't have to talk that shit to, they would rather be with somebody who they can trap into that power dynamic. Is because they know every time they don't get their way, oh, you can't get it. You can't put it in your name. You can't afford it. Your paycheck can't handle this. And they love the power dynamic because that means that they can breadcrumb you through life while giving themselves the most in front of you. And for the worst part of the problem, if you have a low enough self-esteem, you'll spend your time trying to get their validation, not knowing that it's never coming. There's a reason why they didn't want to be equally yoked. Is because they don't want to deal with the fact that if you're equally yoked, a person can leave your equally yoked ass. You came with it, you can leave with it. And that's a lot of problem with a lot of people. If they should find themselves equally yoked, they're in a situation where they're not needed, they're wanted. And some people can't handle the fact that you may not want them anymore. Those are people that don't like to deal in reality. They don't like to deal in absolutes. They need a power advantage. They need a dynamic because if they were ever to be equally yoked, there's a chance that you won't stay. That's a scarcity tactic. That's abandonment issues. That's knowing that you didn't earn a person, but you leveraged a person. That's knowing that you lack self control, but you want control of others. Be aware of some people who really need you to be unequal with them. There's a reason. Some people came up with fathers who went to the store and never came back. So if you can afford to leave them, they won't deal with you. There are some men who had mothers who basically put every man before them. So they don't want an attractive woman. They would rather deal with an ugly woman. And the crazy part about it is they're still going to chase attractive women. That doesn't mean anything. They just want a woman who can't leave. That's what they say in their mind. A ugly woman ain't nothing to lose, but a pretty woman will give you the blues. If you don't believe it, they still say it. They still live it. Some men don't even want an attractive woman is because they don't want to do the work it takes to keep them. They just want an attractive woman by discount. So be careful, attractive ladies. If you feel as though you're attractive, if you feel as though you're sexy, there are men and women out here that will go against you because you may get more. There are men and women that will go against you because you don't have to stay or put up with things. So they'll try to gaslight you into accepting lower and living a life of lower so that they can have access to you. Give them nothing. Give them no crumbs. Give them no dust. People will abuse you either way, whether you're attractive or not. Be aware of you and what you will accept and what you won't accept. And be okay with being single if that is the safest option. There are people that will never treat you right, only because they've never been treated right. So how dare them treat you anyway near special, especially when they've been treated horrible. Be aware of people that feel as though they need to teach you a lesson that they've never learned. Be aware of people that would try to triangulate you with your reality based on their delusion. Just be aware. Okay, that was the Capricorn reading, and we are now in co-creation with the Most High God. Amen. All right. That was the Capricorn reading. We're going to speed through because it is now 5:35. Why, when I signed on, it was 3:53. Now it's 5:35. I don't know who needs to hear this. That is the pick 3. You can add a O or a 1 to the beginning or the end. 0535 or 5350. Put a 1 either in the front or in the back. Put a 0 either in the front and the back. You could try 0353 or 3530. Or you can change it from 1353 or 3531. Do it that way. That is your pick 4 and your pick 3. Try it for the next 5 days. Somebody's going to hit. Okay, I don't do lottery, so you don't have to worry about me. Okay, all right. Okay, so midday and evening. All right, there you go. Yeah. So Aquarius, we're at the top of the charts. We started off in Capricorn. We're going to end in Sagittarius. Okay, we've got the Chariot, which is 7, which is Cancer. We've got Temperance, which is Sagittarius, 14. And we've got the Ace of Wands. New beginnings, okay. We've got the Chariot happening fast, and we've got Temperance. Something is happening really fast. Hold the line. The way that you deal with things, the way that you interact, the way that you react is going to be pivotal to these not pivotal. I don't know where that extra syllable comes from. Is somebody being extra right now? Is somebody putting a little extra razzle dazzle on something? It's not going to work, but they're trying, okay? You can give them an E for effort, okay? Because they're trying. Somebody's being really extra right now. Somebody's probably extra pissed off right now too. Whatever, that's their personal thing, okay? But temperance, they're probably pissed off because they couldn't piss somebody else off, and they told themselves that they were in control, but they're not even in control of themselves, okay? Samos. Samos. Remember, there was a clothing dealer called Samos. I ate Samoas yesterday. Samoas. It was a chicken Samoa. It's an Indian wrap thing. Something about somebody being Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern fruit. We had a lot of fruit this morning. We had a lot of fruit. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, so Middle Eastern, something about a Middle Eastern man. The spirits are going to get them. I'm not worried about that. So temperance right now. Temperance, definitely mind your temperance, because somebody's trying to catch you unaware. They're trying to pull you out of character. They're trying to take a picture of you showing your ass, because that's the last defense that they have, because somebody wanted to deem you crazy. They wanted to deem you mental, liable. They wanted to deem you not a danger to yourself and others. They wanted to basically get you out of there. They wanted conservatorship over you. And the best thing you could do for yourself, especially when they're trying to gain control of your life, your autonomy, and your money, or sell you into some kind of sex trafficking thing, the best thing to do is temperance. That's going to make sure that you are not caught off balance. You're not pushed into a position where you're caught, where you're basically doing something that would reinforce whatever they're trying to do in the background. And yeah, it's something about catching you off guard. It's either they want to lock you up and use you as a rag doll, or they want to basically put you somewhere to where they have control of your money, your royalties, your everything. So remember to not be caught off guard before you get angry. If it's not justifiable, if it's not warranted, then yeah, do what you got to do. Hate to put you in a box like this, but this is the thing. When you have imminent success coming, when you're about to cross that finish line, that's when the enemy really tries to block you in, because the enemy was never supposed to let you get this far. So the fact that you're about to win, you're about to be victorious, it bothers them. They can't sleep at night. They scratch, they itch, they can't, they're tossing and turning. Their kids are in turmoil. Everything around them is in turmoil, because they're projecting bad energy out. Things are spoiling around them. Bad energy is just seeping through their pores, because you're too close to the prize. You were never supposed to be seen, never supposed to be heard. You were never supposed to make sense to anyone outside of their world. They were happy to keep you encased in their chaos and only allow you to peek out when it was benefiting them, okay? Now, the fact that you are here and things are moving pretty fast for them, it's getting pretty uncomfortable. They're the ones that are coming out a little cuckoo, cuckoo. They're the ones that are getting impulsive, because you keep holding the line, and they see your new beginning right there. It looks good, almost like a carrot, right? Looks like it's dangling, right? They want you to believe that they have control of your new beginning, but they don't. They don't. If they had control over your new beginning, then they wouldn't have tried to start off of you. You wouldn't have been their starter pack. And that right there breaks the illusion. If you have been the source the whole entire time, how is it that they can be in control of the source? If you shut off all access, how in the world will they turn on the valve again if you are the one managing manually? All right, so somebody's trying to remote control someone, either through deal, deed, or ritual. Either way, they're losing. They're losing. No navigation. Doo 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 doo. Turn here. Turn here. I say turn here. And you turn off the GPS, because how in the hell did she get so aggressive if she's just a computer program? That's because there are people in the back trying to press buttons. Okay, Aquarius, somebody tried to think out of the box on you, not knowing that you never sat in the box in the first damn place. So that's where they fucked up. Not realizing that they were looking at you to figure out where to go. And once you shut down the blinds so that they weren't able to see exactly what you were doing, they were like, well, damn, now I've got to take an educated guess. The only thing with taking educated guess is you usually have to have education. Oops, did I pull somebody's? So 7 plus 14 is a 21, and we've got it. Creator's still around. He's all over this reading. So we've got the 21, which is a 3. We started off in 3 and we ended up in 3. Somebody's 33. Somebody's going through an awakening. Somebody is ascending as they read and understand the words, because somebody actually listens to me on closed caption is because they don't want to wake up their spouse or somebody in the house, because they would realize, hey, that person's kind of fixated on the person that they've thrown under the bus millions of times. That's weird. How can you say you hate that person, yet you're tuned in every morning on time? Somebody's listening to me right now on closed caption, and they can't believe the superfluous words that are coming out of my mouth. So that's you, Aquarius. We've got the creator, the divine creator. We've also got Cancer and Sagittarius, okay? So somebody's in their feelings. Both of them are munches. How about that? Two people, a man and a female, they're together, but they can't equal to one of us, collective. That's some weak ass shit. All right. That was the Aquarius reading. Okay, let's go, Pisces. What's up? Good morning. We are in Virgo season. Surgical, strategical. We've got to be careful of our steps. Make sure you don't cut too deep, else you'll hit an artery and cause a bleed out. And we don't want that to happen. Make sure you've got vitamin K within your system, because that's going to help what? Make the blood cauterize. That's going to thicken up and make things happen to where you end up with a scab. Be careful of your vitamin absorption, because if you don't absorb right, your face and your body is going to have alopecia, and you'll bleed out if you don't have that good old vitamin K, that good old potassium, the things that make blood thicken after you've sustained an injury. I don't know why I was pushed to say that, but somebody has a blood disorder or bleeding disorder, or somebody doesn't like the sight of blood. Okay, make sure you're taking your supplements, having talks with your doctors, and looking up some holistic healing. Something about Middle Eastern, something about I had Samoas. It's something about samosas. I know that was a clothing design for big boys. I remember I used to be a chubby chaser. I used to like fat boys. I don't know. I think there's a fat boy that got one of those damn stomach things, those stomach staple things, and he was also trying to run some type of smear campaign. However, he's still fat, and he's still on the damn cusp. So we're not even going to worry about him. He'll take himself out. By way of being open to entities and being insecure, especially in body dysmorphia. We won't worry about that person. Be sure to weigh your heart and make sure it's not heavy. If you're going to throw rocks and hide your hands, make sure you don't live in a glass house. All right? That's for somebody. Okay, we're in Pisces right now. 9 of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the moon. Intuitively, I went out there this morning to look and see, but the moon was covered. So somebody's intuition is being blocked. Somebody is being blocked. Somebody's been blocked either on social media, through the phone. Somebody's been blocked from somebody's page. Somebody's been blocked from somebody's life. There is mother, okay? Mother. Moon is mother. Moon is also mother figure. Moon is woman with child. Moon is also family. So somebody is definitely blocking off the intuition of some family. Somebody would not like somebody to see something. Somebody's trying to duck and hide exposure. Somebody really doesn't want anybody to see them for exactly who they've been all their life. You live long enough, you get to looking. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Swords, which is the anxiety, sleepless nights, insomnia, that type of thing. I don't know who says that, but yeah, it gets said. Do not feel ashamed of being traumatized. Chin up, conquer your pains. Mars and Gemini, recovering from illness, releasing trauma, overcoming anxiety, and finding support. Somebody feels a bit bad, okay? Somebody's feeling like a shit on a stick, okay? Queen of Swords, hey, it ain't nothing to cut you off, okay? Let's go. Okay, do not make judgments based on emotions. Get to the heart of the problem without indulging in gossips. Water and air. Water is, you said it, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Yeah, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. It happens when people get a little bit emotional. And the air would be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Having firm boundaries, clearly expressing your ideas. And the reverse is controlling your emotions and being generous. Okay, so somebody is having anxiety, recovering from illness, and releasing the trauma of being cut the fuck off, okay? Somebody's got to get over the fact that they've been cut off. It's crazy because people will cut you off without telling you and then have the nerve and the audacity to be in their feelings when they try to return and you've cut them off in their face. How dare you? I wasn't supposed to know that you left me for dead. However, when I let you know to your face, hey, SOL, you got a nerve to be butthurt. Well, I be damned. Had a nerve to tell me that they don't like me. I've been in their face not liking them for all this time. They could have played along a little longer. Hell to the no. This ain't what the collective is doing. Intuitively, everybody knows what happened. Pisces energy. That's that fish in the bubble. That's that I'm sitting in my water. You need to go on and get in yours. That's that Pisces energy. Yeah. Take what resonates, sun, moon, rising. This is weird. When I don't do my hair, this is how I look. Imagine when I do my hair. Oh boy, I made my family disappear. So yeah, it's somebody that intuitively knows that this shit ain't about to go the way they thought it was, okay? They're waking up to the imagination. They're waking up to the fact that they were dealing straight up in their imagination, and that made them a bit delusional. Somebody's starting to realize that somebody ain't wrapped too tight. You know, the moon is the mind, and what I mentioned about Guardians of Gaul, if you've ever saw it about, if you stare at the moon too long, it can drive you mad. It can moon blink you. You can stay up and get staring crazy, stir crazy. You know, you've heard about that before. So somebody has been doing moon magic, trying to manifest some things in, and the only thing that they've managed to manifest in is a complete failure, complete exposure. Because, like I said, the moon amplifies things, and you know, too much of something can go the opposite way. All right, there you go. So tomorrow we'll be at full power where we were already at 90%. We'll be at full power. So you know somebody's about to get hit with the quickness. All right, all right. I remember those few days of torture where I actually woke up and knew somebody was on the other side of town talking about I want this bitch punished. How's about that? This moon is about to be the sign still delivered. I'm yours. Hey, somebody's about to get a delivery. Special delivery. Hey, Mr. Wilson, how you do that? Imagine. Remember when they were supposed to be getting rid of Dennis and then he fucked up everybody's life and got everything back together and actually got the town crook at the same time as he got everybody else's things back. That's exactly how you've got to be, collective. Embrace yourself unabashedly and watch everybody start to flee because their biggest thing was getting you to trap yourself inside their opinions. And once you started kicking down those walls that they painted LOV in, and you came outside and start that on the outside of the house they put HATE, you were like, well shit, I don't want to live there anyway. It was a crappy house and it only had one toilet. And they couldn't even build a good prison for you. They didn't even have that much respect from you. They put you in a piece of doo-doo with some goddamn drywall and painted some real fresh paint on the walls and told you that that was a palace. And you knew goddamn well that was a shanty, because how dare they only give you one way of getting rid of your waste. I be dang. So you got up. They realized that that shit didn't work. Whatever they were trying to do, it didn't work. You cut them off. Intuitively, they also know that all that energy work is coming back to bite them in the ass if it's not already drowning them in their sleep. Oh, remember the days where I couldn't even sit on the toilet without you trying to do some type of toilet magic or some type of manifestation through the energy, all because you didn't want to get caught for what you really been doing. Imagine being the sweetest mom possible and realizing that the person that you've been kissing to sleep all night tried to sell you into sexual trafficking. Like, what the fuck? And was actually gonna let him do it. Sitting there all the way across the damn states talking about some, I'm so far removed, they'll never know it was me. Well, I kind of got the gist when I started breaking down your so-called altar when I told you stop leaving food in your damn room. And then when I saw the jammer, and then when I saw all the damn substances packed in pockets and shit like that, and then I saw all these fake nails and bathing suits, and I realized that I wasn't the only female that you were collecting personal shit from. You collected personal shit from every female that you happened to be around because you don't like them bitches. So you were systematically gay. And that was very upsetting because I told your father that you weren't no faggot, and then you turned out to be just that. Damn it. Don't get upset, alphabet boys. I'm talking about one, but hey, if the shoe fits, then put that motherfucker on. All right, so that was the Pisces reading. Hey, if you came here to get coddled, you might want to leave now, okay? All right, so like I said, the 9 and the 18, that's going to put us in a 27, which is going to put us in a 9. So somebody's praying because somebody got prayed on, and hey, we're just in a praying mood now, aren't we? Now, some of us are on our knees for a good reason, and some of us aren't. Has nothing to do with me. I digress. I shouldn't be having this much fun at your expense. It really shouldn't be this fun. Okay, so Aries, what it is? What is going on? You're the leader. Are you the leader? Follow the leader. Are we the leader? All right, we've got the 2 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. There goes that 3 again. 2 of Wands plus the 10 of Pentacles. I tell you, creators all over this shit. I'm telling you, we've got divine intervention when it comes into everything, because God had to tap me on my shoulders and said, hey, you are raising the devil. You have slept with the devil. That is the devil that just knocked on your door. That is the devil that just got you on this bus. That is the devil that just served you in the market. You be like, damn, well, he's just jumping in every damn body. And that's the way you've got to look at it. You've got to look at the narrowing of the eyes, the ash of the lips. You've got to look at the demon in their foot. That's one of the ways I've been able to identify. They all seem to get the same damn hopping demon in their foot. And the lower they get to these damn walkers, the more I'm convinced that there has to be a demon sitting on some of these people's back. Like, why are you still walking around like this? You are permanently looking at the floor. There has to be a demon attachment to you. Something is dragging you down. Okay, so we've got the 2 of Wands here, which is the Aries, the 10 of Pentacles, and that is a Virgo energy. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. What I said, we're back to 12, which is 3. The divine is all over me. I'm trying to tell you, he's like, look, you don't have to do much. Just tell these people the truth, and I'm going to slide for you. Okay? God, he's my slime. Oh my goodness, he's sliding for me. That is so gangster. God forbid the person who told me that God is not a thug. He's beating you up right now. How's about that candle magic? Do you feel aching in your tendons, in your bones, in that big old knee? Do you feel something in that big old mouth? Because you certainly smiled like a toothy alligator. But the problem is, you tried to hex me and you were talking about your mom as a dead baddie. I'm starting to realize maybe you're the reason why your mom is no longer here. Be aware. There are some men that have been raised in the last 20 years to really, really hate women while enjoying everything that they present. That is some systematically messed up stuff. All right, there you go. Two of Wands. Let's read. And it's crazy because there's lots of them in jail now. But if they hear about whatever you did to your mom, not even admitting what they did to their mom, it's crazy. The hypocrisy is real. And they'll try to get brownie points from the good Lord Jesus Savior by trying to off you for what you did to your mom, not even really admitting and going back to what they did to their mom. Serious. It's a real serious cycle. Two of Wands. How did I get there? How did we get here? All right. So the Two of Wands, come out of your comfort zone to explore new territories. It is time to test your knowledge, to validate your decisions. Mars in Aries. We are in the Aries reading, discovering new paths, planning your future. So somebody's got to pivot. Somebody's got to reapproach life, okay? Somebody has to change course of plans now that we are aware. We have the eagle here up there. So we know that there's a change in the overview. Now that you have a better perspective, how will you apply the knowledge that you now have? Now we have this Ten of Pentacles. I know it sounds like I said tent, but I said 10. 10 of Pentacles. Now let me find the Pentacle page because this book, for some reason, it gets deep depending on what I'm looking for. Don't let that message go over your head. I usually don't say things that don't mean something. Okay, so your legacy will stand for a long time, so make sure to invest rightly to make sure your journey to make your journey even sweeter for your family, finding wealth and enjoying family life. Okay, so somebody's trying to figure out how they're going to enjoy the rest of their life, how to go around and keep a poker face as they continue to try to hide a new beginning. Okay, collective. So somebody is being strategic right now, and I'm going to say it's one of our collective because they're understanding that the more these people see you smile, the more they want to come in and steal your smile, your life, whatever it is that's making you happy, that's keeping you above water, because you were never supposed to smile again. It irritates their demon. They hate that. They hate that when they check on you, you're still doing good. They hate that when they check on you, your person still likes you. They hate that when they check on you, you don't give a shit. They hate that. They really do. They really, really do. So, what you have to do is keep being strategic, keep hiding the things that you love. I'm not saying that you have to go and turn yourself into a secret squirrel. What I'm saying is keep them away from your things, keep them from accessing you, keep their access as much as possible. Where you may have to go through a 2-step authenticator, make them go through a 10 so that by the time they get to the second step, they just change their mind and walk off. Okay, that is the best way for you, is to make it very difficult to access you, because the people who did have easy access before, they didn't appreciate it. They found no value in it because they were able to access it way too easily. Now that you've shut them off, make them pay. Let everyone submit themselves with gold and silver, and never state your price, because those people will try to take advantage from even knowing one thing secure about you. You've got to get into the mood of telling people crazy shit just because you think they crazy and they tried to play crazy in your face. Sometimes you just have to look at a person and straight up lie the way that they've been lying to you for years. Sometimes you've got to tell somebody something totally opposite and watch them go off and trot off into the sunset and tell everybody confidently while you sit there and laugh, all because they thought that they were playing you. Okay, Aries, you have a new beginning, but you're going to have to be a bit strategic, because you've got people all up in your Kool-Aid and they don't know the damn flavor. They don't even know that it might even be Sunny Delight. It might be berry pomegranate Mio. Either way, they're not interested in any of the materials that you use to keep yourself happy. They're just interested in the fact that you're happy. All right? So stay away from those happiness haters and keep strategizing. Stay tapped in. Keep all access shut off. Just because they have view of your mansion doesn't mean that they need the path to get into your yard. All right, take it easy. That was the Aries reading. What did we say again? Aries, Virgo. We have lots and lots of earth, so stay grounded, stay stable, keep yourself together. We're not worried about them, but the creator is all in it and you have protection. Just know that you got to protect yourself. There's only results when prayer and work is combined. Okay, get those things combined. The creator's got your back. Do you have it too? All right, there you go, Aries. Keep it pushing. They hate that. They hate that you wake up every day and you know that God is giving you another chance to get your benefit on. Benefit yourself through the sun, through breathing, through living, through breakfast, through water, through blinking. They hate that. Just anything. They hate anything. The more you enjoy things that are priceless, the more they're going to be upset and try to find something to buy. Isn't that interesting that some people are willing to go bankrupt trying to purchase your happiness, not even realizing that your happiness comes by way of the creator and you're just happy to be alive once again, and that's priceless. You know, man can never hold a ransom for what God gave you. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Pentacles in Taurus, we've got the Fool in Taurus, and we've also got the Knight of Swords. So somebody's about to go through 8 years at least of karma. That's Woody Woodpecker. Yup. If you know it, it's also a little bit of the spinoff of Chilly Willy. Chilly Willy. Chilly Willy. That was the cutest little penguin, and he could get through anything, and you didn't know he'd been through anything, and that's why people kept pursuing him because he seemed to shake himself out of the tightest spots. Chilly Willy. That's a clue. That's instruction. You got to be chilly willy. You've got to be so chill that these people get too hot. They're like, I can't make them angry. I can't piss them off. I can't trip them up. Nothing seems to take the sunshine out of their day, not even the rain. And that's the one thing about you, collective, that they cannot take away from you because you trust rain. You know what rain does, it brings rainbows. There's no growth without rain. You can't enjoy sunshine or a rainbow without rain. And that's the thing about you, collective. You are priceless in every condition. And they can't take every condition like you. It sends them in a tailspin. Ah, they hate your freaking guts. They hate your positivity. How dare you? Collective. You like the rain? I don't like the rain. I've got holes in my shoes, holes in my roof. I don't like the rain. I don't have iron. Look, I don't like the rain. How dare you enjoy the rain? I've got you. No sub pump in my life. What? There are some people that can't even enjoy just waking up in the morning. How dare you? They can't even purchase your eyes to stay closed. And there are some people that tried it. There are some people that put money on some of our heads for a selective few. There are some people that went into the bank and broke bread. They would never give you any money. They would never help you. They would never donate any money. But to get you away from this life, to take you away from your smile, to take you away from your kids, your future, to take you away from being seen by anybody, they would pay top price. Somebody went bankrupt trying to destroy you. And they wouldn't even use any of that money to build you up. How sad is that? And it's crazy because if you looking at me and I'm looking at you, they done wasted some more money. Because they certainly tried to buy us off this earth. Ain't that some stuff? Good thing we ain't for sale. All right, so somebody's approaching 80. Somebody is on the wrong side of karma. Somebody's too damn old for this shit, but they won't stop, can't stop. They did out here, okay? They trying to go out like Clive Davis, but they ain't Clive Davis. That was the only one. And he really didn't go through, he really didn't have as easy a life as what people think. That man died in pain. That man died with a lot of things happening to him. Right now, him and the devil are fighting right now because hey, the devil was actually not sent to make that a coming home party. He was sent to torture that man. He's being tortured right now. He might even come back as a roach so that somebody can step on him with a designer shoe that he no doubtedly created. You have no idea what people's path is. This is why you don't look at people's karma. Okay? So somebody is going to be approaching 80, or they're going to think that they are, and something's going to happen to them. Somebody's way too old. Somebody was born in the 80s. Somebody's definitely going through the bad side of karma because they were trying to master getting away with everything. They were trying to master. They had their fingers, their head, their hearts, their phone, everything that they had at their disposal, working it to the hilt because they wanted to take a new chance at life. They wanted to do a new start, but they wanted to do it based on bad offers. They wanted to do it based on impulsiveness. They felt as though if they didn't give things enough time to sit on their mind, they just did it, that they wouldn't carry the guilt. But this is the thing about guilt. Sometimes the devil tricks you. He allows you to build up so much bad karma, so much bad energy. He allows your hand to touch so many bad things that there is no way that anybody can intercede or come and save you. He allows you to put so many nails in your own coffin that you forget that it's you banging those things in. And then you tell yourself you're a good builder, but then you find the fact that you're the one that's stuck inside of the work. I can't tell you. Remember, there was a person that came up with a good old safe, and he ended up locked in it. There were some real good what sculpture people that make sculptures, and some of them became encased within the casting. Some people went mad thinking that they were going to get away with everything only to be locked into their own expression. You see, God has a way of dealing with each one of their kids. Sometimes when you like your work too much, he puts you in it. He'll trap you right in it. When you think your work is so clever, he finds a way to be just as clever as you thought you were. Sometimes you're looking for the police. Sometimes you're looking for the lawyer. You're looking for all that to be in trouble. Sometimes the trouble don't come the way that you think it's going to come. Say you love animals. He gets that animal to take you out. Say you love painting. He puts you in a room with a bunch of fumes. Any way that you thought you were going to creatively get your way out of there and you weren't going to pay for it, God has got a sense of humor. So somebody's about to get stuck inside their own work. Remember, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. Maybe not a big old Ginsu sword. You might die by a butter knife because the shit is ironic. You understand? So you got to be careful when you're stepping out in these spiritual streets, especially the ones that actually took it as far as spiritual. See, a lot of times when you're doing things in 3D, you just deal with 3D consequences. And then you just got to worry about staying up out of the way of 3D consequences. But when you touch spirituality, those entities, those spirits, those apparitions, those negative vibes, they can go just about anywhere. In your sleep, in the deep, rolling in a creek. You can't go anywhere. It's going to get you either by water, by earth, by air, by anyway. And I can tell I'm hitting somebody pretty hard right now because the colors are changing on my screen. I can tell by the vividness and the ultra changes that happen by way of the screen. So let me get off your nerves right now because you're a little bit pissed because the chickens have come home to roost. So somebody took a big old chance. They're on the wrong side of karma. They're trying to master the art of getting away. They're trying to remain Houdini by being impulsive. They're trying to not let things sit on their heart so long as though they start to feel guilty, but the guilt is building, honey. The beat has been building. Let the beat build. Okay, so yeah, so it's happening right now, it's actively happening. Somebody right now hates to go to sleep because they feel things tugging on them. Oh, poor thing. Keep that same fucking impulsive energy. Deal with it, all right, dear? Okay, so we've got this Taurus here, we've got the 8. Be on the right side of karma. That's dharma, but some of us don't know any better because we told ourselves that we were just going to move quicker than that. You got to be way quicker than that because that's how that shit works. That spirituality isn't for the weak, all right? So, yeah, whoever's burning the candles and doing all the rituals and saying the says and writing the sigils all haphazardly and with anxiety, that spirit is laughing at you as well. It feels as though you're a punk because, hey, as big and bad as you were when you were puffing out your chest and celebrating the completion of each ritual, you didn't understand that that demon was laughing at you because it pretty much knew it was going to end up right back in the same space that it started. So shout out to those Ouija board people. I bet you wish you never opened that shit up, don't you? I'm telling you right now, if you go to a sleepover and somebody pulls out a Ouija board, call your parents. Call somebody. Get the fuck up out of there. And then some of you had a nerve to have people there, adults in the house that actually went out and actively got y'all alcohol and drinks while you were doing the Ouija board. Did you know that they were setting you up for failure? Did you know? Did you know? Especially for the parents who actually went through with trying to join sororities, went through with trying to be pastors and get, consecrated in, becoming, in theology school, especially those ones who actually knew better and actually went into the rituals and the hazings and all of that stuff. You mean to tell me you let people that were already contracted to demons buy you liquor and allow you to play with a Ouija board in their house? Oh boy, they seen the idiot in you. Not only that, they got a little bit of your energy and liked it. So teaching you to do something different would have not been good for them. They harvested off you. Some of y'all got so happy when you seen some of your friends and some of your people around you getting money, not realizing that they were stealing energy from you because you were the idiot that decided to drink in their house and play Ouija board. So they used your ignorance against you, and then you thought you were using somebody else's ignorance against them. Oh, what a tangled web we have weaved. I'm so glad that I don't touch things like that, and I don't have any leaks or openings, not anymore, because I was aware and became aware of exactly what was happening. The rituals, the intentions for real, to put people in the ground so that you could be compensated by their death. Oh yeah, I'm aware of the end game too, because if the trafficking would have happened, or the conservation or power of attorney would have happened, you would have just rolled that thing until the end and collected on a life insurance policy and tried to be the heir of some properties, some real estate, and this, that, and the third. But the people didn't tell you that if you've actually got caught, because you always have to have a contingency plan, that if you actually got caught, you would be in line for absolutely nothing. You wouldn't be entitled, or you wouldn't be eligible for absolutely nothing due to the deeds that you've already done. And that's another thing that these older folks were trying to do. They had you carrying their karma because you were basically scapegoating them for the crimes that they have ultimately done and were getting basically scapegoating you for. So now that we've come full circle to the fact that they got the shit out of you, stole your future, made sure you were not eligible to get anything, and then realizing that now they're not eligible to get anything because they've been caught by way of the Ponzi scheme. Because who in the fuck emboldened you? I was not stupid enough to just stop at your tier, realizing that there had to been adults that allowed you to get away with this shit for as long as you could, not realizing that they were going to be grouped in with you. What the hell is he doing? He's in the backyard trying to be a ninja. I think that resonates with somebody. Somebody's trying to be as stealth as a ninja, sneaking around you, your website, your accounts, your home, your something. Yeah, they thought that they were, but what's a ninja with a white belt? Not hidden. That was Taurus, which is an 8B on the right side of karma, which is Dharma. That was the Taurus reading. Yep, yep, yep. And we have Uranus and Virgo. Hopefully you didn't let anybody play inside your booty. I don't know if you were the bender or the sender. Either way, I don't suggest it. Oops. Let's go, Gemini. Let's go. Okie dokie. We've got Justice here with the 11. We've got the Queen of Cups. Somebody is paying their own stuff, some mine, and not paying any of yours. And then we've got the 11. We've got the Queen of Cups. We've got 16. Someone's going through a tower moment. Someone's having a good tower. Someone's having a bad tower. This child is throwing something out back. All right, we've got 618. 618. Somebody's stupid. Anyway, Justice, Libra. We've got the Queen of Cups and we've got the Five of Cups. Let's see what the Justice is. Remember, we're going to end in Sagittarius. We have got Gemini here. And we're going to quicken up because I've got things to do. All right, so we've got Justice. Take responsibility for your own actions and decisions. Karma, Justice will take care of the rest. Libra, finding balance and dealing with karma. I just said karma. Karma, there's a lot of karma. Then we've got the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is saying to us, be empathetic towards others, to lead by example and let them understand what it is all about. Water and water, lots of feeling, showing compassion, counseling others. So the justice going forward is you being aware and not allowing karma to take you out, finding balance and dealing with all the good stuff you got and letting other people deal with their karma. Then we've got the Queen of Cups, which is showing compassion and counseling others. This is exactly what's happening. All you have to do is show a little love going forward. The love that you weren't able to give people in the background, you can also pay it forward, because there are some people that do enjoy you, that do enjoy your love and do enjoy your conversation. So only be where you are celebrated and never where you are tolerated. And then we've got this Five of Cups in Scorpio. The Five of Cups is, do not shut your eyes to new opportunities. It's time to forget the past and seize the opportunities to build a secure future. Letting go of trauma and learning. Optimism. We just talked about that. Just because there are a lot of people that didn't enjoy you, there are a lot of people that took you for granted, doesn't mean that there aren't people that won't celebrate you and value you and want you around. So be aware of being so paranoid that you start treating everybody the same. Remember, there are some people that need you, love you, and will support you just as much as there are people that are the opposite. This, use your discernment going forward. And that was the Gemini reading. 11 and 15. That is a tower for someone. Someone hates the fact that you deal in the real. Somebody hates the fact that not only are you taking it, you're keeping it real with yourself, but it doesn't bother you knowing all of what you know. Somebody hates the way that you survive. Somebody would love for you to have survivor's guilt, but you don't. And that's just the way it is. All right, so that was the Gemini. Somebody's having a bad tower. You're having a great tower. Your tower involves knocking them off. Remember how King Kong was, and he was a conqueror. So beat your chest because you've made it to the top level and you didn't reach down for that screaming damsel in distress. That's where King Kong messed up. Had he not grabbed that old little lady, they wouldn't have done him so dirty. All right, let's go. Yeah, that was for somebody. Okay, so now we've got Cancer here. Yep. Some of you messed up. Y'all got somebody in your face gassing you up, and they basically helped you sabotage yourself. And they got the nerve not to be there to rescue you after they watched you fall so far from grace. That's what you have to be. You got to be careful of people coming in and giving you false confidence and watching you crash out, especially when they don't plan on helping you get out of the same situation that they held you build up so much momentum for. Some of you guys really got taken for a ride, and I don't feel sorry for you because you wanted to go. You thought it was cute. All you wanted was a trip to the mall. You wanted the what throw it in a bag and now you are in a trick bag or a bag that you freaking created. That is wild. All right, so Cancer, we've got the Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy, that sneaky energy. We got the five, which is a Five of Wands, Libra energy, and we've got the Two of Swords. Look at this sneaky bastard here. And then we've got the Five of Wands in a battle, and then we've got the Two of Swords. Someone's deadlocked. They're blinded. They don't know exactly which path to take, but they've got to take some type of path because, hey, you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. So we've got the Seven of Swords right here. The Seven of Swords. I'm so glad all your stuff is already ironed. The Seven of Swords is saying, no one can hide the truth, be true, else be ready to face consequences, being resourceful and admitting any betrayal. So somebody is supposed to be admitting betrayal, but we all know some people get very stubborn and they tell themselves that no one will find them out. It will not happen. They can get away with it, okay? So somebody is starting to realize that they won't get away with it. And then we've got a Five of Wands. Somebody's fighting in the background. There's a lot of fighting in the background. There's a lot of facts. There's a lot of exposure. And everybody's fighting about who's going to take this ride, whose life can be forfeit, who can afford to take the rap. Somebody's got to go to jail. Somebody's got to be the sacrifice because, hey, some people are more valuable than others. So somebody's going to have to take a L because they decided to be a part of something. They wanted to be a part of something, and that's what happened. Sometimes you got to take a L with the team, or you got to take a L for the team. So be careful of being on the lower ring of the thing because, hey, you didn't value yourself to stand by yourself. So now that you're a part of the group, you have to do as the group does, okay? And a decision is going to be made, a blind decision. Somebody doesn't even know that they're going to be used as a scapegoat because somebody told themselves that that other person is way too valuable to lock away. That other person has the potential to make more than them. So somebody's going to find themselves sitting there eating crow. The same crow that they tried to make you and I eat, collective, with no salt, no pepper, with no damn Vaseline. 75, 57, 52, February, May, July. Either way, we got Aquarius, Leo, Libra. This has been the Cancer reading. 7 plus 5 plus 2. That's 7 plus 7. That's 14. That's temperance. Don't get mad at us. Get mad at you. All right. Leo. I'm dropping cards here. All right. Oh, boy. Somebody wants to drop the signal. Somebody wants the signal to drop. They're tired of hearing about themselves. They don't like being read. But why are you an open book? Why are you in my energy if you didn't want me to read you? Okay? This is what happens when you keep being in a person's energy, when you keep trying to read them, when you keep going to readers and asking what they're doing, what do they got going on, what are they coming to. When you keep involving yourself in a person's life, whether or not they see you or not, You are asking for them to know things about you, especially if they are any empath, if they have any gifts, if they're any intuitive. They're going to pick up on your energy and they're going to pick up on it in spades. Get out of my refrigerator. You done ate like 50,000 things. Stop it. You're taking advantage. Go sit down. And that's how you got to be sometimes. Sometimes you got to realize when your kid is seeing you distracted, when your kid is taking advantage of the fact that you are nice, that you are giving to them, sometimes you got to pull back that access and realize when they're trying to run the gamut on you, you go sit down somewhere because you've been eating since you got up. Go sit down. Everything ain't supposed to be ate until it's empty. You also got to do something like that. You've got to have boundaries from the beginning because if they find that you're too open and they have access to all your things, you won't have anything and they'll tell you, well, you never told me no. They'll blame it on you that you never told them no, but they could have had some type of consideration for the fact that they're getting something that everybody else doesn't get. So be aware of enabling and encouraging consumption and entitlement. Sometimes we raise our own narcissists, and it's up to us to be accountable for when we do give too much access to the people who we think we're supposed to love unconditionally. Conditions have to be applied. All right, so here we are, Leo. Leo, Leo, Leo. What's going on? Ten of Wands in Sagittarius, Judgment here. And we have King of Swords. Okay. So not only is somebody in heavy burden, this is Leo, heavy burden, but they're under judgment and the King of Swords. Look, that is the quietest, most strategic cutoff you can get is from a King of Swords. He sees you coming. He has to let you say your piece before he cuts you all the way to the hilt. The reason why he has to let you say your piece is because we all need you to come on out with it so that you don't come back and try to justify anything. That's what the King of Swords is. Once he's done, you don't come back. You don't spin the block. He's done with you. Off with his head. So somebody has to be pulled up from the root. Okay, somebody has to be done with. They have to be eradicated. Okay, so collective, there's somebody who has to just be eradicated out of your life. You don't need the pictures, the memories. You don't need their number. You don't need their email. You don't need their mail. You don't need any memories. You don't need any nothing. No paraphernalia, nothing to remind you of them. There's going to be somebody who you have to eradicate out of your life. The person who thought that their love was way more valuable than your life force, yeah, that person. Get rid of them all the way. They won't understand that fat meat is greasy until you dump the fat on them, okay? So, allow them to carry their own burdens. Whatever happens, take it all the way there. Is as far as they were willing to take it when you didn't know, take it all the way there. This is the Leo reading. This is a Leo reading. This is Sagittarius energy, which is straight to the point, which is the Archer. And then we have the Judgment. And then we have the King of Swords. Let me read the King of Swords real quick for you. The King of Swords. You have a special connection to laws, rules, authority because of your analytical and logical mindset, research before implementing your decisions, having intellectual power, and displaying integrity and truth. No matter how you might feel, no matter what memories, you got to treat people exactly, sometimes worse than they treated you, okay? So if you know you had a person that was basically treating you well in your face and then going about and treating you as the enemy, you make sure you treat them as enemy number one, as the most wanted suspect in the world. I'm not saying literally hunt them down, but you make sure your spirit hunts them down and lets them know it's nothing but swords over here for you. It's nothing but a cutoff. It's a shut off. You have no, as far as I'm concerned, your life is forfeit. I have nothing for you. I cannot breathe anything into you. And that is going to be your blessing and your lesson. Don't allow anybody who basically put a nail in your coffin behind your back come back in your face and pretend to speak life into you. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart of town. And it's a lot of people that they got to come on board. Close my door. Close my door. You're doing too much this morning. Not you, go out. Come in. Come in. That's another thing you got to realize. When a person know that they doing wrong, they going to duck, they going to hide, they going to try to keep quiet because they know that they did wrong. That's another thing. Some people know they did you wrong, and that's why they can't hide. That's why they hide, and that's why they won't pick up. That's why they won't call you. Sometimes you know of the reason why a person won't reach out to you is because they know that they did you wrong. They know that they did you dirty. They know that when they go in front of other people, they are playing two different parts. They know they are the two-faced one, but they needed you to look as though you were the bad person. Let them handle it. Let them handle the same energy they put you through. Let them sit through judgment. You not reaching out to them means that they got to ask themselves the hard question. Means that they got to ask them, they got to answer the questions when people like, well, you said this, well, you said that. Let them deal with it. You don't do nothing. You don't save them. You don't spin the block. You don't have no consideration. When they come, shut off the lights. Close the door. Turn your back to them because they did that to you. They just didn't want you to know that that's what they did. Protect your land. Survey your land. Pass through the city and see what they said. And you will understand that the gate should be shut and there should be no access. When you finish, lock the way. That was the Leo reading. That was a 10 and a 20. Did we come back to the 3 again? Yes, we did. The Creator is around. Divine intervention. Sometimes God don't want you to get your hands dirty because he wants to jump in. Somebody is going through a spiritual jumping. The same jumping they wanted you to go through. Interesting. Okay, so now we've got Virgo, we've got Libra, we've got Scorpio, and the last one will be Sagittarius. Virgo, let's get you real quick. It's 6:34. For anybody who wants to know Hierophant, that is business as usual. Justice, that is justice. That is law. That is even. That is getting on the good foot. And the Queen of Cups is back at it like she never left. Okay, so somebody's getting to the business. Someone's also a Taurus. We got a 511, which is justice. 511 just came straight out. Taurus and Libra. 511 just came out. Okay, 5 and 11, that's 16. Someone is in a tower. Somebody's going under. Somebody whole business, their whole charade, whatever it is. Justice is catched up. And you, collective, are the Queen of Cups. You can go back to minding your business and tending to your own things because God is stepping through and protecting you. He's allowing you to get back to the drawing board because that's what you was doing in the first place when they decided to interrupt you with this spiritual warfare. You were never in it to fight with anyone. You were in it to live the best way you could. They decided to wage war on you by getting involved with everything. Your life, your love, your work. Everything that you were involved in, they were there to do you an injustice. But God said no. God said, I'm going to do a few fancy things and let them know that I exist. Because when they were getting away with it, they told themselves that no one would see. God said, nah, we ain't doing it that way. Especially when you was minding your business in the first place and they were benefiting from you minding your business. God said, that's just totally unfair. How dare they use your work to do you in? How dare they use your name to do you in? How dare they use your information to do you in? The same people who hated everything about you was willing to use everything that you built to build themselves up and tell you you didn't deserve or you couldn't have and you shouldn't have anything. That's why God said, you know what? I'ma do it because I need you to stay busy. I need you to build what you building because these people decided that I wasn't here. He said, you stay busy. I'm going to jump on their heads because they said I don't exist. The same people who I gave life and access to used every tool that I put inside them to destroy somebody who was there to reinforce them. I sent somebody to help you out in life and you did nothing but plot death upon them, even when they helped you survive. God stepped in and he said, you go on, keep yourself busy, baby. I got them. 511 came out. 511, 16, tower moment, cycle complete. Business as usual. Go on and keep the party going. Bye-bye. God and keep the party going. Bye-bye. Okay, that was the Virgo reading. We've got Taurus and Libra in this Virgo reading. So those were the main players who told themselves that God was never going to appear. All right, there might be more, but that was what's in the energy. Someone was very stubborn and someone was very indecisive and somebody was very imbalanced when they decided to make these impulsive moves. Okay, let's go. Libra. Come on down. 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, and the Death. We've got 9, 3, 13, 9, 3, 13. That is 9 plus 3, that's 12 plus 13, that's 25. 25 is 7, something is complete. Someone is sitting in the lap of luxury. Someone is also going forward, and someone is having a death and transformation. Let's get this energy going. All right, so Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. Your life is replete with wealth, prosperity, abundance, luxury. Be thankful for everything you got and stay humble. Finding abundance and being self-sufficient. You have found abundance in yourself, your life, and everything that you have cut everybody off for is starting to store up in your coffers. And now it's starting to become very clear to you and everybody else that it was never you that needed work. You just needed to get away from the people that you had surrounding you. You were behind enemy's lines. You were sleeping with the enemy. You had the enemy surrounding you and you were calling them in because they were whispering sweet nothings in your ear. But now that you have come to full fruition, you are realizing that you are luxury. You are everything. It is a luxury to know you, to be around you, to have been in your presence. It's only you were the last one to know because they were exhausting you. But now that you've gotten everybody away from you, now you can understand that you were meant for a life of luxury. You've always been able to afford it. You've always been surrounded by it. It's just that everybody cheapened your experience. Now we have the 3 of Wands. Isn't that crazy how just being around the wrong person will cheapen your experience when you are living the best life that you should be living? Is only not apparent to you is because you keep getting overshadowed by bad company. 3 of Wands, 3, you have created a firm foundation for yourself. Now it is time to plan for a secure future. Sun and Aries, moving forward, commitment to the future, which means that you have now stepped into your masculine era with this Sun and Aries, meaning that you are now, not only you are a nurturer provider, but you are also a protector. You are able to protect yourself. You are able to put that bass in your voice. You are able to straighten out your spine and tell people no. You are able to square your shoulders and make that a whole entire statement. You're also able to say no without opening your dang mouth because they understand. I be dang if you coming over here to be another battle for me. I done survived too many things for you to come over here and be another one and defeat me. I be dang. So death and transformation, gone are the days where you give people the benefit of the doubt. Now there's only doubt, and if not, it means no. All right?
So somebody has escaped being people pleasing. Somebody has escaped being nice. Somebody has escaped being kind. Somebody has escaped being unconditional loving people. Somebody has escaped all these openings and they've closed up and they've cocked out every leak. And you will no longer come over without gaining access by earning access. You will not be given any damn thing. All right, that's you. Okay, that was the Libra reading. 9 plus 3, that is 12, plus 13, that is 20. What? That is 25, which is 7, which is a complete cycle. All we needed you to do is put everybody else down and pick yourself up because that was the only one that wanted to see you up anyway. Once you realize that, you can put everybody down. Okay, there you go. Let's get on over to Scorpio. It is 6:42. 6:42. Come on, Scorpio. We've got the Wheel of Fortune in Jupiter. We've got the Nine of Cups in Pisces, and we've got the Two of Cups in Cancer. This is the Scorpio reading. The Wheel of Fortune is definitely turning. You're finding yourself guarding your luxury, guarding your cups, guarding your husband, your wife, your kids, guarding your goddamn garden, because we got people that are steal the plants out of your garden if they thought that it would make your day. If it would thought it would tear your day up. We got people that don't even want you to have a dang garden. You can't even grow a pretty flower without somebody trying to piss on it or something like that. I seen one of them nasty men. I just walked in my house and I turned around to get ready to check the mail, and it was a man just sitting there peeing out in the open. You could see him on the main road just peeing, and I'm like, he had to been there just cause chaos. Cause why in the hell can't you find a toilet or alley somewhere where somebody couldn't see you? The kids could be looking out the window and see him. He was not hiding it at all. There's a lot of older folks out here that I don't want to learn a goddamn thing from, and certainly I don't want them out here visible like this, because the kids are starting to realize they don't even want to get old. If they gotta look raggedy like that, they are really taking the risk of getting rich or die trying, because if they got to be old and broke and sad like you, they don't want to do it. Y'all giving off the wrong damn messages and the wrong damn energy. Two of Cups. Nine of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Cups. We already dealt with the Wheel of Fortune, which is saying that things are turning in your favor or things can turn out of your favor. You only have to not take moments for granted. Now we have the Nine of Cups right here. The Nine of Cups is saying follow your intuition and unravel the best choices for you and reach satisfaction. Jupiter in Pisces, feeling satisfaction and gaining recognition. Okay? So you understand what the goal is, understand the assignment. Now we've got the Two of Cups, which meaning that you're calling in a union. You're actually ready for a relationship. You're ready not to be stepped over, stepped on. You understand that you do have to create boundaries, and the person for you is going to appreciate the boundaries. The person that's not for you is going to try to step all over your boundaries, poke all through your boundaries, and push your boundaries too early. They're going to rush your boundaries. So once you've established how you want to be treated and how you would like to be treated in your situation and how you want to treat somebody, act accordingly. If somebody comes along and tries to get familiar with you, tries to get comfortable with you too fast, you understand that somebody is trying your boundaries. Okay? All right. The number going forward, 10 plus 9, that is 19. Plus 2, that's 21. Did we go back to the creator? Yes, we did. God is about to come and bring you your mate. He already knows there's too many people out here willing to change faces, change lives just to be in your life as a crux, just to be in your life as a criminal, just to be in your life as a crook. There's too many people that's phony out here. There's too many imposters out here that want to pretend to be your spiritual spouse, but really they just in there to take everything that you got. They're there to kill, steal, and destroy. So going forward, make sure you go to God before you take any of these people serious, okay? 10 plus 9 plus 2, that's 21. That's 3. That's divine intervention. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, that was the Scorpio reading. Now let's get our last but not least. Let's get the Sagittarius done. All right, we've got the Two of Swords, we've got the Five of Wands, and we've got the Seven of Swords. We still got this sneaky shit going on here. Okay, let me put this back because I don't want to draw the same cards, but it does say a lot of sneaky shit going on. Okay, Sagittarius, and it would have resonated with you because I know a Sagittarius who's this. She's not shit. But either way, we're not talking about this. I don't want to influence this reading before it happens, okay? All right, Sagittarius, we got the King of Wands, somebody burning. Okay, Knight of Swords, somebody's impulsive, somebody's coming in quick, and somebody's the fool. We got a zero here in Sagittarius, somebody's the absolute donut. They have no value, period. Okay, so somebody's burning, they got a nerve to be very impulsive, and they got a nerve to take a lot of damn chances. They is a damn fool. The number is zero, and this is all we can do with it. A Knight of Wands, somebody don't think, they just act. They're very impulsive, and they lead with sexuality. Okay, so somebody has definitely got either a spiritual demon or a real STD. So if somebody comes in very, very ambitious, very, very quick to get in a relationship, quick to be in love, quick to get married, quick to make a child, quick to have sex. They quick to do everything but protect themselves. They're very dangerous. They come in with sharp things, which means they run with scissors. This is a damned idiot. And then we've got a fool. Zero. Always taking chances. Always in somebody's face. Always in a new relationship. Always pregnant. Always having a miscarriage. Always burning. Always with a new chick. Always with a new man. Always got a new job. It's somebody that amounts to zero. They have no value, but they take enough chances where people feel as though they have potential. All because they look brave. Don't mistake someone's over arrogance with confidence. And that is the message today. That is Sagittarius. We came up with the number zero because look, these people are fools, impulsive fools. They come in. Look, this one ain't never got a damn shirt in. This one always got the best clothes on, but they burning. So you watch out. There's somebody who dresses real nice, but they really, really nasty. They got their spiritual hygiene is jacked up, and the reason why they dress so nice is because that's how they draw men. They gotta look good, or else people will realize that there's a trash box in front of them. And this, somebody's always willing to take their shirt off. I can't stand when I keep seeing all these grown men on these shows with their shirt off. Like, you didn't buy a shirt, you don't have a shirt, you don't want to wear a shirt. You just want me looking at your areolas all the time. Like, what's going on with you? Anyway, like I said, it's somebody that's impulsive. They're very sexual, and they don't mind coming in and playing a part, even though they're not the part. Okay, and there's somebody that's always in something new. The reason why they always in something new is because it gets old real fast, especially when a person finds them out. Okay, that was the Sagittarius reading. The number is zero. Somebody has no value, but they look so valuable. Somebody dresses the part, but they ain't the part. At the end of the day, you will have lost thinking that you've gained something. You will have lost everything dealing with them. Okay, that was the Sagittarius reading. That was Nyx. Let me go. Bye-bye. It's the Gemini. Look. Can you see it? Yeah. But I'm still sweet. It's me. Later.